Test. Yeah, I'm hearing myself. All right. Perfect. Close. Let me see. Pop out chat. Mic can go higher. Great moderation. We'll see what we needed. If H3 members will join here. Let's see. Close. So we have the chat there. All right. Let's see. It's working. I don't stream that often, so I'll have to check. Yeah, seems to be working. Okay.
Fuck it, Millhouse, like, baby, I don't know, like, if you're afraid of, like, saying something about me, I'm not gonna fucking come after you, bro. I'm powerless, so there's nothing that I can do to harm you. Well, here, let me explain myself now. No, I'm not afraid to come after you. What I'm
so this is for people that watch the stream afterwards.
Today.
So AB decided to do it. So it does really, like, he's probably tired because this is 7 hours, 18 minutes.
Watch that scene.
I'm not. Oh my god.
Some of those scenes on YouTube.
So he's spreading his reaction. It's like more than 8 hours, or it's going to be 8 hours. It's kind of crazy. So I'm not going to react to everything. This is live.
By the FBI who are tailing him.
This is live.
Jimmy Conway, and he knocks on the truck. And
I'll show his chat
wake up,
as well.
Let's go for a ride. Like he fucks with them for them to tell him. That's me to snark.
Okay, now it's live. So let me start by saying that he banned me. His mods banned me.
Yeah, let's see.
For criticizing him, being respectful, but just pushing back on some stuff that he's saying or trying to explain why people are upset with him. 5 minutes and it was a ban. And on YouTube, Lena, I do believe, let me check, Lena Julie 33. I do believe that she probably banned me. I don't know if it's actually his wife or not. It could be, because she was engaging with me and like, we're not watching, we don't care about the critique. The bottom line was basically like, we don't like critique. We don't want to deal with critique. It doesn't matter if you're respectful or not. If you're not kissing AB's ass, then you don't belong here. Get out. Lots of messed up stuff being said in his chat about the snark is burning holes in Bad Empanada's brain, they're saying. They really love that word snark. It's like the perfect deflection, right? Snark, snark. Just say snark all the time, and then you don't have to deal with the actual critique.
Disappointed in not saying more, and not because I'm not allowed to, but just because not being more educated on it.
Yeah, people are really, already sharing.
Myself for not being more educated on it. I would.
You got these snarkers eating. Like I need that.
Snarkers, people are watching it. They cannot engage with them on chat.
I was a huge fan, but I'm disappointed what you've become. Oh my god, this is like fucking Mufasa talking.
Yeah, it's like he really hates people saying stuff like that. So
don't care about Palestine. Don't care about what
no, they do.
Lebanon.
They do. I should. Like
if
it's not clear, I don't
about
have
not
the same
sharing all the same
political
political opinions
on everything as my boss. If that's not clear, I think it's. I have the same political opinions as my brother. I don't have the
okay,
same
he's
political
doing
opinions.
clips.
Yeah, I've said this on the show. Like, okay. Dan Saltman, super chats to AB. Yep. Yep.
Oh, you're watching the stream on 2x? It's almost 8 hours.
Say that she
We're catching up on this one. Yeah. I'm obviously not going to react to 8 hours of him talking while he seems drunk, which makes it better, I admit. But chatting, I was trying to see if I can actually get on a call with him. But clearly that is not possible. He's not going on a call with anyone. Like, doesn't even have to be a debate. Just someone trying to explain why people are like upset with him and why his defense is not great. But you can't even chat. You'll get banned. If you're not just agreeing with everything that he says and defending him, you'll automatically get banned. I don't think the Lena Julie 33 is his wife. Because she's like, I love you, we love you, we love you. I don't think that's what his wife would put in chat. But also, what is interesting, I know that AB confirmed being glad that I was banned, even though I didn't say anything messed up. I can actually go, let me go to the, can I go to the chat and show you guys what got me banned? Which is, I think, interesting. Oh, I can't go back that much. I need to rewind.
Yes.
Never mind.
You notice how
You can't criticize him.
He has a fixation with putting up what he believes to be unflattering pictures of people when they're being talked about.
This is so mad.
That's something that Ethan does a lot.
I didn't know I'd hurt your feelings that much. I literally, like, I looked up you.
So,
I was like, I didn't like look up bad empanada ugly. I just looked up bad empanada, and I just wanted to use a photo of you looking insane.
This is an example of him like talking about stuff that really does not matter. It's about Gaza. It's about genocide. I can easily list all the valid criticism that he has received. The latest criticism is the fact that during the debate with Hassan, Ethan kind of went mask off and said, "Fucking Arabs." He didn't even pronounce the word correctly. I did see people in chat defending him by saying he was kind of tired or whatever. It was a 5-hour stream, so that defense is already well established. Also used by Hila as well, I think. Was AB going to talk during the stream and push back there? No, but it's like one of the... You don't expect him to necessarily interrupt. Even though he does have a mic, he has the capability to interrupt. So if AB was like capable of pushing back, then he would have said, if he was in a position where he thought he was capable of pushing back, he would have said, hey, wait, I get why Hassan is saying that was racist, and then try to explain it to Ethan to give him an out. That is what you do with a friend. You try to give that friend an out among other friends when they say something stupid, like, hey, let me help you. You don't seem to get why that was messed up. It's disappointing that they can't tolerate critique in chat and are not willing to talk to someone that is criticizing them and that has actually really looked into it. So a lot of stuff that we don't care about. So we probably want to go back. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't show you where most of the engagement was in the chat, or the number of viewers maybe, where it went up and down. So he's talking about clothing, so we can go back now.
Frogan, my best friend since childhood. I betrayed. Frogan is someone that I've hung out with.
Anthony did mention that Frogan went up there and lived in that city, and they kind of, were helping her or whatever. Like the friendship was like not Ethan Klein friendship, where it's not actual friendship. It's just an acquaintance,
The creator clash.
That's what Ethan said about Pyrocynical, by the way. I need to go back.
May have been it. And again, she was...
Oh, no, he said about Leafy. He's a friend, and then said, well, actually, friend is just an acquaintance.
My friend, she was very helpful to me online. But this narrative is so funny that I turned on... My whole, meeting her, anytime I've talked about her, anything was always trying to build her up. And she did the same for me as well.
We were so excited when we found out she was moving to LA. We're like, oh my God, we have another one of us who's going to be here.
Exactly.
It won't feel as alone out here.
I tried to include her and stuff.
Oh, man. Okay, so the part where she is talking as well makes it extra interesting to actually react, because it's not just AB. Yeah, but you guys are making clear she's quite a friend, right? Then the question that immediately comes after this is, do you really think the tier list was racist and anti-Semitic? What do you think of Denims being in the F tier of the anti-Semitic tier list? So you understand it's not an anti-Semitic tier list, right? Is it anti-Zionist? What is Denims doing in the F tier if it's an anti-Zionist tier list? So it's not an anti-Zionist tier list. Okay, it's anti-Israeli. Okay, how is Denims in the F tier? So none of that critique holds. None of that critique holds. But are they going to talk about the tier list and the fact that Ethan, I'm going to up the speed. Are they going to talk about the fact that Ethan decided to misrepresent the stream, create a hit piece, on Hassan, like there was a lot of harassment of Hassan. Like everyone knows, Hassan was not responding to it for the longest time, and he just kept going. Getting those people banned, so getting Frogan banned. So what's her name? So I forgot his name now as well. AB and Lena clearly are completely ignoring the fact that the tier list was misrepresented and that their friend got banned for 30 days by their boss. And they both haven't spoken up about that in public or on stream, which is nice. Nice. If I was working for someone and they misrepresented something that a friend of mine did and tried to get them banned and was successful in getting them banned for 30 days, which is directly impacting their income, like you guys are fine, right? You can still pay your $4,200 a month rent for this apartment, no issues. But AB is the one that says, if I leave the H3 podcast, I will end up in Skid Row. So it's, that's the, like that is the level of his chat as well, right? Like this works with their chat.
Tickets to the Creator Clash. And again, I'm not trying to act like it's one way. I'm just saying I put her on my guest list because she's Lebanese and simply because I wanted to build her up for that reason. I included a picture of her on the show because I wanted to give her a helping hand because I knew she was from Dearborn. And I don't regret any of that. I'm just saying that,
What did you do to try to stop your boss from harassing her, sending harassment her way, getting her banned by misrepresenting the tier list? He constantly keeps referring to her.
I love how they're now weaponizing me trying to help out the fellow Lebanese as me turning on my lifetime friend. Yeah. AB having his Gohan SSJ2 moment, that's exactly what it is. I've had enough. So let's watch the response. I'm excited.
So that was, I think, a reference to his I love Ethan Klein. Sorry, it's defending Ethan Klein at all cost video. And there he added some cartoons where he's like the hero. Like Gokunaru made some valid critique of Ethan, showing that he is a hypocrite when he is attacking other people, which is true. And it all went over AB's head. And he put a cartoon there where like he's like the hero. And then there will be no Jewish blood spoiled here, he inserted there as well.
Do you need to get anything? You got your drink? Do you need any snacks?
No, I'm good.
Good? Do you need to go to the bathroom?
I do, but I don't want to waste time.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. If you need to go.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'm going to bring Rocky when I come back.
Girl, it's going to be 2 hours. Girl, it will be 2 hours.
Maybe have him sit this one out.
Okay.
8 hours of stream, don't worry.
Yes. I'll be right back.
I see. I don't know what you said, but I agree. Okay. Now this is important to note. Okay.
So it's starting out
talk about numbers, but Millhouse in the clip that I was sent, the reason I even know this video exists, Millhouse was bragging about having 1,200 live viewers on YouTube, and he said, "I have no clout and nobody likes me because I support Zionism." Okay. I would say it's because I'm on Twitch. Maybe I'm on Twitch talking about Palestine. Okay. Let's do. Okay, let's do YouTube as well. Let's see.
You're glad that I got banned. You confirmed it to Lena Julie and saying like, yeah, I'm not really checking that chat or whatever. Exactly after she banned me, but I didn't say anything wrong. I was not disrespectful. So, regardless of which chat someone uses, an outsider uses to confront you with criticism, try to explain to you that you're like ignoring the actual criticism and zooming in on something that is insignificant, you immediately ban them.
See where I'm at.
So is it strange that I think you could say like, hey, they all do this, right? They just ban anyone that criticizes them because, yeah, that's what streamers do, because they might. I can imagine thinking maybe they will convince other people in chat that I am actually an asshole. The question is, do I think... Oh, I can see, by the way, from the 302. Check out Deepest Diva. Oh, nice. That is appreciated, 3021. I don't know how many people will actually come here, but that I definitely appreciate that. Maybe some people will come here that have been banned. Who knows? Because I can't post that message, so thanks a lot. But it's clear that AB is not focusing on the actual critique. Like, it's not about Anthony being super upset with you, or it's about why he is upset with you. It's not about him cursing at you. Like, he has done that multiple times. He does that. It's kind of immature. I've called him out for that in my video. But that is not what it's about,
see where I'm at.
right?
Not bad so far. I have 600.
So this is at minus 718. Let me just quickly check if there is anything interesting being said.
Their adult life. A sycophant for Ethan Klein.
He's almost falling
saw
asleep.
those videos and he was like, yeah, this guy is totally fucking in love with me. I'm going to hire him.
Okay, I'm going to quickly scroll to his old stream. If anyone... If anyone has an idea...
I'm just saying I put her on my guest list because she's Lebanese and simply because I wanted to build her up for that reason. I included a picture of her on the show because I wanted to give her a helping hand because I knew I love him so much already. Is Bad Empanada.
Okay, so you're going to react to the Bad
dog dad, you guys. He gets so hot in my tights.
Yes, anything?
Nothing.
Sleeps on my lap, but AB just got him some.
Cheers.
Let's go, AB.
Or Eli.
I'm kind of worried that he will take down the video, so that's also a reason why I'm streaming.
If he's sincere or not in what he says. And based off the title,
awesome.
AB is AB called me barbaric.
If anyone, has, they left again. If anyone has an idea of what is an interesting part of the stream, let me know. I'll zoom in. Because he's going to just react to...
On Twitch,
I'm really curious if he's going to be...
They're all messed up now. They're all mixed up.
Like, I don't think his defense is going to be really good. But before I start, I have to admit, Bad Empanada, like, he's really leaning into it, right? Like, if you watched AB, actually, that statement about Anthony being... Like, he said, Zionists love you because you're the perfect example of an Arab being barbaric. And then he said, I will do everything I can to prevent people from doing that, like that, to prevent that narrative. The problem here is, oh man, let me try to explain this, because it's not that easy to explain. I get that, like, the majority of his chat cannot explain it to him, and he might not be able to understand himself. Because if he did understand, he probably would have just skipped it and not talk about it. But he's like constantly trying to defend it, and he made another video immediately after that. Anthony is cursing at you. Have you ever cursed at someone? I have. I have cursed at people. Yeah, I've done it. We've all done it, right? Not that many times, maybe. He is cursing only at AB in all of his streams. I don't see him really cursing. I mean, he has cursed at other people as well. He loves using Lebanese curse words. He feels like, it's unfiltered. Again, I don't think it's mature because it gives the other person a very easy out. Like, look at this guy being, like, unhinged. But that's all AB had to say. Like, dude, you kind of look unhinged. When you curse at me like that, like, just tell me what your critique is and I will try to respond to that. Like, there is a lot of normal good ways to respond to someone that made a video or a stream where they cursed at you. And by the way, you do the same thing in the same video, right? Like, you're getting super upset and yelling at the screen and saying, I'm not scared of you, and Bad Empanada is a pussy. Like, Bad Empanada is not a fighter. Like, he's not someone that physically will fight you, obviously. So who cares that you're not afraid of him? Bad Empanada has some valid criticism. But the statement about, hey, Zionists love you because you're the perfect example of an Arab being barbaric, and then you said, I will do everything I can to fight against that narrative. It's just not a good statement. Why? You're telling Anthony, hey, you're telling Anthony, you're doing something that makes it easy for them to use this against us all Arabs. Like, your behavior right now makes us look bad. That's kind of what you're saying. You can try to turn it into something else. It's not. It's not. It doesn't matter if you, after that, say, I will do my best. I will do my best to fight against that. Dude, if someone thinks he's barbaric just because he's cursing when he's upset, like, everyone, all ethnicities, everyone is barbaric. Because you can find people cursing and getting upset in all ethnicities. It's not a sign of someone being barbaric. It is not. If he's outside and hurting like an animal or whatever, like, dude, do you not understand what the term barbaric means? So the question then is AB just not smart enough to realize what is wrong with his statement? Because if something is wrong with your statement, you don't, like, if you take it back and you don't double down. You need an inside man with a horrible podcast that is doing more harm than good when it concerns the genocide in Gaza. Do you not understand that? People are leaving their high-paying jobs at tech companies because they don't want to feel complicit. At what point would you feel complicit? When he's sharing the same arguments that they are using to bomb hospitals. When Hila is not capable of talking about her time again, where she went on raids, and admit, she literally said they went on nightly raids. Ethan, during his debate with Hassan, said, well, maybe that guy killed someone. Really, Ethan? They kill someone every day? So I made videos about this, so I don't want to repeat myself there, but I want to hear...
just the title. I don't know what the video's about, but like you said, just by...
The title, so if Lena is saying what I expect her to say, so she's upset with the title, she thinks the title is incorrect, you're creating some distance between saying that he's barbaric by saying that Zionists, not Israelis, Zionists love him as an example of an Arab being barbaric. Cursing at someone because you're upset because they are part of a podcast that is doing more harm than good with regard to the Palestinians and the Palestinian cause, with someone that is confused that she's called the raider of Ramallah when she in fact raided Ramallah, and doesn't have the understanding even now, after so many years, that it's not good to go on raids in occupied territory. I mean, she even got upset that other people are refusing to serve, right? So these two people are working for an ex-IDF soldier that says that she's proud that she served. She's proud that she went on a raid in Ramallah, right? She did not say anything to downplay the fact that she went on a raid in Ramallah, which is occupied territory. Maybe we want to know who that guy was, Hila. Like, can you maybe find out? Like, can you maybe look into it? I know she's probably not getting that information, but clearly she's not that curious, right? Like, it's so easy for people to defend themselves, even having said horrible stuff. Like, Hila can say, you know what? I don't know. I didn't check the files. I don't know if the guy had actually done something. And looking into it now, I do realize that there is a term called mowing the grass, where they just go into the houses, do raids to intimidate people. Like, you just have to go to YouTube and type West Bank and you know everything you need to know. And all of that is being ignored by Hila completely, and to a large degree by Ethan as well, because he's trying to play defense when he's challenged on these things. And AB and Lena are just silent about all of that. They're like, yeah, that's their critique towards them, not us. While you're part of the podcast in a visible role where you have a microphone and can actually speak up when he's saying dumb shit.
For the things. You did not call him.
So Lena is doing the defense. So I think is this an IQ problem, or is this just our audience is relatively low IQ, so we can get away with this and we can just completely deflect and not own up anything?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's.
I do think they have kind of talked about this before. I don't know if it's low IQ or low expectations of audience. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like he's being sincere.
Like, clearly it works when you have your minions block and ban anyone that says anything critical of you.
Just off the title.
So he's probably still responding in the last part.
I would assume. He clarifies a bit in the video. Okay.
I gotta find a way to like consolidate all of this because it's gonna get, I think, confusing with different.
I watched this stream live. So let's go.
And again, I don't hate this guy. No.
That's not the point. It's not about you actually hating the guy or not. It's about you saying something that is kind of messed up. Also, considering the fact that your boss Ethan Klein said the fucking errors. You're right.
The person I hate is fucking.
The Bad Empanada.
He's fucking. I don't even hate him. I just think he's a fucking.
The critique that Bad Empanada has about Hila and Ethan is on point. It's completely on point. It's valid. They are not able to actually respond to that critique because there's no defending that stuff. So yeah, you really hate Bad Empanada while he's one of the most vocal people when it concerns the podcast.
Bitch.
He's showing receipts, right? Like, do they watch his videos where he's criticizing H3? He's zooming in on the video where Bad Empanada is doubling down and attacking him, right? But why not react to one of the other Bad Empanada videos where he's showing us what Hila has said? Why not react to Hila saying she went on a raid?
Bad Empanada.
They can't hear.
Okay. I'll turn it up for y'all.
It's not surprising, right, that he's like only focusing on the stuff that is being said against him.
Find a way to, but please do. I'll find a way to maybe do like a whole list with a bunch of fundraisers together, or how to point you guys to help.
Good.
And says, don't you think this was fueled by the
distracting? I just had to turn it up.
I'm going to skip because they're not really adding anything.
Need to call them out. So we're there. So
it's the
there. So they completely like abandon her. I felt.
Meg says that's not AB show. He speaks up when he feels it's appropriate. Yes, which is why I usually don't. I won't mention it on my own streams either. You understand that this is a company. This is a product that I did not build. This thing was around before me. It'll be around after me. You know, what fucking employee has the right to just go fucking speak on behalf of a...
Oh my God. I'm glad. This made me happy that I'm doing a reaction. But it's so long. And it's probably filled with these type of dumb statements. The company existed when I joined. Most companies exist when people join, right? Most companies exist when people join. The idea of joining a company is that the company itself, in fact, it exists, right? So I didn't create the company, so I'm not the owner of the company. I have not influenced the company to where it is right now, completely disregarding the fact that the company has said messed up stuff since you joined, which is like 5 years ago or something. Let's also not forget the fact that you got the job by creating a video, reacting to Goku Naru's video where there was valid criticism, and your arguments were pretty bad. But you just kissed up. You kissed his ass. And he loved it. Ethan loved it. It was the right time. He was looking for someone to kiss his ass. I'm going to call it what it is. Like your video was, the AB video was just really bad. It's really bad. And I have an entire video going into all these arguments that he made in his video. And I don't think anyone has actually done that. But when he created the video, he included even a message at the end, like he said, "I love you, Ethan. Ethan is the moral voice of YouTube." He said in his video, like, "Oh my God, I can just I don't want to think about that video, to be very honest." But yeah, H3 members wanted the video to deflect all the criticism, and you did that for them. And Ethan was really happy with his new foot soldier, right?
Product.
So if you're part of a podcast, yes, you can kind of influence the pod. You can't. You guys cannot, because you don't have any influence. Which is why people are saying, like, if you cannot push back, which you can't, clearly you can't, because you'll probably lose your job, why would you be part of a company that is doing more harm than good when it concerns the Palestinian cause?
Please, please.
So he's completely like, it's just a company, man. Comparing it to just some random company, but it's a podcast, and he's sitting there and he has a mic and he can talk, but he doesn't dare speak even when his boss says fucking errors.
And I do speak up. I do speak up. I do speak up.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe it's not enough for you, or maybe it's because of people like you that I want to speak up less.
No, he doesn't speak up. He has dude, you do not speak up. You do not speak up. Like, so the statement about Rudy Giuliani and Hila Klein, like he said, Rudy Giuliani said at the conference that Palestinians at 2 years old learn to kill Americans, and he laughed immediately after saying it because AB is at least intelligent enough to realize that that was a dumb statement from Giuliani. Ethan is also intelligent enough to realize that it was a dumb statement from Giuliani. But Hila, I mean, that's how she reacted. AB knew immediately that Hila was reacting to him saying that. AB also knew that she was on screen, that people could hear that. Like, the podcast people know what is going on air. They know. They're like, okay, shit. No, you do not speak up. You didn't speak up. You also didn't speak up when Hila defended herself for saying that, by claiming that there were multiple conversations. And I have a video up where I showed that there are not multiple conversations, because even Ethan said, oh, that's spicy. So everyone knew that Hila was reacting to you, and all she had to do was claim that there were multiple conversations going on. At that moment, there weren't. You see her making eye contact again with the person that just made that statement, which was you, because you say something again after, and she's looking in the same direction. Like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize that Hila was responding to that statement from Giuliani, and she probably thinks, that's what we will infer, that Palestinians at 2 years old learned to hate Israelis, or kill Israelis, sorry. The statement was kill Americans, so then, yeah, at 2 years old, they learned to kill Israelis. That's basically what she, and I guess that word is like kind of used just like the other words as well, right? Which
you were defending me the last time I spoke up, and now you call me to say, fuck me, Lena, we're not Lebanese. Maybe it's
there's no real speaking up.
People like you who make me not want to speak up. I'm lucky I work somewhere.
Wow. Using Anthony as a reason why he's not speaking up against dumb shit that his two bosses say regarding Palestinians who are currently being genocided. Fascinating.
Where I am given that ability.
Lena is listening to all of this, and she's just
I am given
agreeing,
the
right?
I am able to speak up, but it's not them that makes me afraid to. It's people like you.
Wow. It's not them that I'm afraid. So he's literally saying here, oh my God, I might react to the entire stream. This is so bad. It's not Ethan and Hila. Why I didn't tell Hila. What do you mean, Hila? Come on, Hila. Come on, Hila. You really think Palestinians learn at 2 years old to kill Israelis? Is that what you're saying, Hila? No, I mean, you're still saying, Hila. Why are you still saying, Hila? Come on, Hila. And then Hila, okay, I guess 2 years old is a bit young. And you're like, yeah, come on, Hila. You have to be reasonable. And Hila is like, true, AB. Thank you for, keeping me on the right path, right? Like, yeah, sometimes I say some dumb stuff. Yeah. Thank you, AB. You're right. Yeah. No. At 2 years old, they do not learn. They don't know how to pick up like a Kalashnikov and do an attack. Or how is a 2-year-old going to kill anyone, Hila? You have kids. You guys remember dealing with a 2-year-old? Like a nephew or a niece? Remember what? 2 years old. Not realizing that it was a stupid statement from Giuliani, and AB did not push back at all. So, no, AB does not push back.
Like you.
Even when it's very easy to push back, AB is not willing to push back. And he's now claiming that he's not doing that because of Anthony. So at that moment, if it popped up in his head and he's like, I should push back on this, Hila, thinking that 2-year-old Palestinians learn to kill Israelis. I should push back on this. It will bite us in the ass. Like, they will clip this, they will snark it up, and then it will get snarked. Everyone is snarked nowadays, so it will be used against us. Yeah, that was like the easiest moment where you could actually push back. It wasn't a debate.
Because it's never fucking enough. It's never enough. I'm like, what?
It's never enough. Barely does any pushing back, and it's never enough.
Why am I putting my... Why?
And then in the chat, people are saying you speak up plenty, AB. He is not. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you do. So, yeah, people are upset with me that I'm telling Hila that it's ridiculous to think that 2-year-old Palestinians learn to kill Israelis or Americans. People that criticize you for that are not all there, right? They're kind of a lost cause. So,
why am I putting my neck out for this? For people?
Why would I put my neck out for Palestinians? Wow.
People don't give a shit. Thank you, Red Brat.
Wow.
I felt that some of the things that AB, again, let Ethan say, they can call us fucking Arabs.
Wow. And then in chat, fuck these people. Yeah. Nice. AB isn't content starved like those freaks. No, you guys, it's interesting. It's just interesting. Content starved. Honestly, I was ready to let go. Like, I didn't want to cover AB. Even H3, I'm kind of done with them. Everyone outside of the H3 cult knows what is going on with them. But yeah, it's crazy.
It was pretty horrible. So I wanted to react.
Someone in chat is saying, this is so stupid. Are you supposed to find a company where there's no Jewish people? Can you imagine something being said on that stream that justifies saying this? To think that people expect him to go find a company where there are no Jewish people? You do realize that all of the people H3 has beef with have friends that are Jewish. Hassan has multiple people coming on his stream regularly that are Jewish. They're just not fans of Israel. You think Anthony hates Norm Finkelstein, hates all the Jewish people that have spoken up against Israel? You think they're all anti-Semite? I guess that's what Ethan has brainwashed them to think. So that's the interesting part here, because his own chat consists primarily out of H3 cult members. So they do agree with H3 and Hila on pretty much everything. They don't agree with any critique that they have received, but they're here to defend AB. But they don't really care about people criticizing them because of Palestine. Here, let me see. So Mr. Resistance is saying, the funny thing is Ethan never said he agreed with what's happening in Palestine. Yet that's what they're all insinuating. Can anyone explain? All right, so let me see if I can explain this to Mr. Resistance. Nobody has claimed that Ethan fully agrees with what is happening in Palestine. Nobody's claiming that. Ethan asked Sam Cedar, what do you think they should have done instead of genocide? Which is kind of a dumb question, because the answer can be anything below genocide would be a good answer, like not this. Like, can we agree? And he agrees. But then Sam turns the question around. What should they have done? And then Ethan is struggling to find an answer. Ethan is saying they built tunnels under hospitals and they use hospitals as human shields, which is used as an argument to bomb the hospitals. So what is your confirmation that a genocide is happening and it's bad that it's happening? How is that enough when you're deplatforming pro-Palestinian voices by misrepresenting a tier list, which was not anti-Semitic or racist? It was a stupid tier list, but it's not those things you claimed it was, right? So silencing pro-Palestinian voices for 30 days. They built tunnels under the hospitals. Hila not reacting to the critique on her old video saying she went on a raid, not wanting to admit that it's a bad thing to go on raids. Hila literally saying that she kind of, not literally, I will take back the word literally, but that's what it boils down to, that she kind of looks down on people that refuse to serve. So conscientious refusers, or what is it called? So those people that are like speaking up and saying, I don't want to be part of like this genocide. At this point in time, Hila is still saying, you should serve.
Back to some of the videos, and there's a few things that we're going to have to go back and forth on, react to a couple of other things. But en principe,
is that one أنت لك
yes, we're going to talk about that too. But also, like for example, here's just a couple of things that kind of annoyed me that AB. So this is right after the conversation with Hassan, where Ethan literally referred to Arabs as fucking Arabs. This is the pushback that AB had. I know you guys hate each other, but the views were crazy. It was.
Yeah. Goal. Why? You think this is more relevant than that. So it's evidence. This is a receipt. Lena, I don't know if she understands. I think Lena is just an attachment, basically. So I'm going to focus my critique on AB. But yeah, if this is the point where you think, hey, the views were crazy. Yeah, that's kind of like... So imagine you're with a group of friends at a restaurant and one of your friends tells... and the other friend is like a black guy. And he uses the N-word for the black guy and curses at him, like really bad. And they have a fight, like a verbal argument, like, why would you call me the N-word? Dude, what the hell are you doing? This and that, like pretty messed up. And then they stop, they're like stopping the fight, and then you're like, well guys, at least we had a lot of views, a lot of people were entertained. Instead of saying, hey, dude, don't call him the N-word. What are you doing?
So this was a narrative that was going around.
Because Hassan is still on that stream. Let's see. You can see AB cannot control his anger. Like, you can see he can't control his anger. Which leads me to believe that it's an IQ thing. It's not deliberate. He just doesn't get it. But then if you're not willing to engage with people that do get it and try to explain it to you, then, yeah.
He's disgusting. He only cares about the views. You fucking moron.
So the point is going above his head. He's turning it into, you only think about the views. Like everything is going above his head, and it's just going to be an 8-hour compilation of him not getting anything. It's not about you only thinking about the views. It could have been anything. It could have been you saying, well, you solved the Middle East problem, guys, which would be kind of funny, but you would probably get some critique there as well, right? Because they would say like, oh, you're making funny jokes, but you cannot confront him when he says something really bad about Arabs? Errors. And you're one of them? You're an error? Your wife is an error? Your family is all Arabs? Or mostly?
Again, it's one of two things. You guys are literally so. I'm not talking about Millhouse. I'm talking about this narrative that I don't know what to say. Maybe he's one of them. But these people who have never left their house. Yes.
Have never left their house. Okay.
In an awkward situation, especially between people you know, sometimes you make a joke to lighten the mood. Me and my cousins make jokes.
He's trying to explain the joke, which I kind of just said, right? You could just make a joke. You solve the Middle East problem. This is not really a joke. I have to admit, it's not a good joke. I mean, yes, they had a lot of views. You're just confirming something that happened. So you're not good at jokes either.
To fucking funerals because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you should have said, hey, don't call my friend the N-word. What are you doing, dude? You should have spoken up when Ethan said that thing. And then you didn't at that moment. And then you waited. And when it finished, you said, you know what? I'm going to chime in and I'm going to just say we had a lot of views. If it was a good joke, dude, if you said you solved the Middle East problem, I can guarantee you would have received less critique because they could see it's a joke and trying to lighten the mood, right? This was not even a joke, and now you're claiming
I'm
it's
making
a joke.
About it. Like again,
it's
this just shows how these people do not care. It's just got him, clipped him, got him.
They do care about that pretty mask-off moment from Ethan, and you didn't push back on that. So the critique is valid, and he's completely disregarding it.
What was the views?
Redirecting.
Thank you. Don't ask that question.
Redirecting.
So the views, you know what I mean? Who's was higher?
I'm kind of interested in the chat as well, but then this reaction will be so long. Most people do not share their exact views of their boss, and most people aren't. So, Nate Faye, most people are not going to share their exact views of their boss, and most people aren't going to give up their job over it, saying that this is someone who has quit jobs over my differing views. So there are companies that are somehow linked to Israel, right? And some people working at those companies are leaving their jobs because they don't want to be complicit because, you know, their technology is used or whatever. This is a podcast where it's on the product is the podcast. Sure, they make some extra money with the Teddy Fresh, probably make more money with Teddy Fresh with the children's clothing that they are doing with the podcast itself. Regardless, most people don't share their exact views. Completely disregarding the fact that AB is on the podcast as one of the people that can talk. He has a microphone. He can talk. What part of he has a microphone and he can talk do you not understand? If he's not willing to use it because he's worried that he will get fired, but we saw a clip where he confirmed that he's not actually afraid of Hila and Ethan. He said, I'm afraid of Anthony. It's because of people like Anthony that I do not speak up. He literally said that.
Oh, got good views though. You know, you said some
So yeah, that's a very dumb statement. I guess high school, it's like a high school statement. Would it be someone that has like higher education? I can't imagine. But yeah, there are, I guess, dumb people in companies as well. Nobody is expecting you to go in your, let's say you work at a company with 5,000 people. Most people are not expecting you to put a Palestinian flag around yourself and like demonstrate within the company and disrupt the process and stuff like that. Like, it's childish to talk in extremes, right? If your boss is the podcast host and he's saying some dumb shit, then yeah, there is a valid expectation of people that you kind of speak up or push back because you do have a microphone. You're not working on the back end, right? You're visible. You're part of the podcast. That's why people are super upset. Let's say, for argument's sake, let's say AB was working on the back end. He was just editing. That's all he did. He just edits videos, but they only do podcasts, so there's no editing of videos needed, really. But he was working in the back end, editing, post stuff. Okay. People could still be critical of you, yes. They cannot expect you to speak up during the podcast because you do not have a microphone, AB. Okay. They might make videos about you and say, come on, dude, you're an editor on this show. Most people would probably not care that much and say you just have an editing job with this company and like you don't want to lose your job, they're paying good, and They would still have valid criticism like, you dude, you're editing videos for people that are doing more harm than good. Like, it's Ethan that said, what is that 2.6 million going to do with charity for Palestinians? Like, what's that going to do? What's that going to do? You think that's going to help him? Like, so he's actively convincing people not to donate to Palestinian charities there, right? That's what, like, that's the conclusion. If he's making fun of people giving money for charities for Palestine, he's making fun of those people so they feel bad when they do it. So they will do it less. Okay, if you're an editor on the back end, people can criticize you if you're working for a podcast that is saying that stuff. But yeah, it will hit less hard because you're not there with the microphone, which makes it completely different. Like, you are complicit to a degree, but less complicit because, yeah, you can't speak up during the podcast. But people will criticize. Maybe they will criticize you. And then, okay, what then? Well, the question is, how do you respond to them? Are you going to be ridiculous? Or are you going to just agree and say, yeah, I agree with you guys, that was stupid? But then are you worried that someone will clip that from your stream and show it to Ethan so you get fired? Or just email it, because like they do have a big cult that is like monitoring everything that they're doing. You know? So yeah. In a normal situation, in a normal podcast situation, you're allowed to disagree on stuff that matters. You're allowed to disagree on the fact that he said, hey, what is that 2.6 billion going to do? You're allowed to disagree on that because you probably disagree, right? So let's say you do not even speak up at the podcast. You're not saying these things outside of the podcast either. You're using the fact that you're talking about Palestine and saying that it's horrible that they're being genocided. You're using that. I mean, you're doing that, great. You're doing some advocacy there, great, right? But when you're not responding to the actual critique, like, do you agree that the tier list is racist and anti-Semitic? If not, it would be nice if you could just admit that you don't think that is true, which might create an awkward situation with your boss. So the idea that you're afraid of those people to speak up, maybe that is the truth, because you're afraid that they will confront your boss. Or no, it's the H3 cult that will do that, right? Like, someone like Anthony will not go and send an Instagram, Twitter, or whatever and say, see, AB is speaking up outside of the podcast. He will just react to it. And then there is a risk of Ethan reacting to it because the H3 people are going to show it to him, right? If he's not watching it.
Shit about my people, Ethan, but the views were great. And
everything I just said, it goes above AB's head.
In his defense, I was watching it.
Because if it didn't, then he would not stream this. He wouldn't have streamed
this.
And
he said that when they were fighting, and no, I'm gonna live stream and do a fundraiser, and they started like saying, I'm gonna do a fundraiser, and then AB said, you can do it because you had a lot of views. So that's it. Here's a bit of that context. Now here, I don't have the clip of Ethan saying fucking Arabs. I mean,
I'm not sure what she's referring to, but thank you. It's somewhere on Twitter. I don't know if you can find it right now. But here's AB kind of defending Ethan saying fucking Arabs.
Not sure if that was a compliment, AB.
Getting impassioned. You say this fucking this, that. It's like so obvious. So
I knew in the moment you were using it as saying like, obviously what I'm saying is the Arabs. But that being said.
Okay, so this is the critique. So he did critique. This is a different podcast, clearly, right? He's wearing his heavy metal shirt.
I knew
that tattoo
didn't
is
even occur to
out.
me. Why are you
Let me go back.
getting impassioned? You say this fucking this, that. It's like so obvious. So
not really owning up
I
to
knew
it.
in the moment you were using it as saying like, obviously what I'm saying is the Arabs. But that
Obviously what I'm saying is the Arabs. The fucking errors. So you're defending him. You're bringing it up, but you're defending him and saying, obviously, I know it's not. So, I mean, for people, that was a mask-off moment. It was like, when he says, the fucking errors. Imagine if Hassan would have said, the fucking... I'm not even going to say it because I'm worried that my entire channel will get banned until the end of time. Yeah, so if Hassan would have said that, how would that have turned out? How much critique would Hassan have received? Let me ask you this. To what degree do you think Ethan would have used that to get Hassan deplatformed? To what degree would Ethan have used that as the ultra own? Fatality. Hassan is definitely anti-Semite because he said, fucking, look at this, guys. That he would own that thing, like how he's owning that great head that he got from the psychiatrist for his apology, right? He would own that. He would wear it on a shirt.
That being said, I knew
because
him.
he's allowed to say that
It
stuff,
didn't even
right?
occur to me. Why?
He also said that he's allowed to use the Nazi salute because he's Jewish. It's coming from that guy.
I understand why you said these fucking errors, Ethan. I get it. As an Arab, I get it. You're impassioned. You're just saying, hey, the fuck, can you imagine?
Okay, see, this is the shit I'm talking about.
Oh my God, AB. Watch your step because you're not good enough. You're not smart enough to make good arguments. It's going to just come back to you.
If you have criticism of stuff that Ethan says, then
okay.
Say the fucking criticism of the points he's making. When you guys...
Bad Empanadas YouTube channel is full of valid criticism for the stuff that they are saying. So having followed this, people are actually criticizing what they are saying. All of the videos. That last video about Ela Klein, amazing video. Like there's so many videos where people are criticizing what they are saying. There is some noise around it because people are cursing sometimes in a podcast when they're reacting live to something. Yeah, Ethan does that as well, but you don't seem to mind that as much, right?
You guys have to reach like this? Like what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing?
Reach. You guys have to reach? What is the reach?
Here? Like
these fucking errors, Ethan. I get it. As an Arab, I get it. You're impassioned. You're just saying, hey, the fuck, can you imagine?
Okay, see this.
That's a reach. Anthony is saying, I get it, you're impassioned. He didn't even say it's a mask-off moment. That's how you think about Arabs? You think this is a reach?
This is the shit I'm talking.
Let me reach. Let me reach. It was a mask-off moment. It was a mask-off moment.
If you have
Again, what if Hassan would have said the same thing about Jewish people?
Criticism of stuff that Ethan says, then say the fucking criticism of the points he's making. When you guys have...
They are doing that.
Like what are we doing here? Like what...
Anthony's actually here. Anthony is showing some understanding towards Ethan and saying, well, you know what? Yeah, it was a passionate, you were impassionate, blah, blah, blah. So you added the word fucking. You added that to your sentence.
Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like,
not a reach. It's like the softest.
You know what's crazy? I thought he was getting shit for saying the fucking Arabs. And I was like, of course people are...
That is what he was getting shit over. That was the mask-off moment, yeah?
Are going to use it against you. But no, that's not even it.
That is exactly it. That is like the reason why the hate on AB has increased. So he doesn't understand that is exactly it.
That's not even it. The narrative sort of changed. Now it was that he referred to all the Arab countries as Arabs.
Correct.
He referred to all countries as Arabs. Oh my God. The argument Hassan was trying to make is that even if all those Arab countries are kicking Jewish people out of their countries, which is the claim that Ethan had, right? Like that happened. Ethan does not like talk about the false flag thing that happened as well. And it's talking about what happened first. What was a reaction to what? What is the chicken and what is the egg? That's the topic. And then what they're upset about is that Hassan was making the argument that even if Arabs in other countries like in Iraq kick you out, doesn't mean that you can kick out Palestinian Arabs just because they're Arabs. Right? That's the point. That was the argument. That was the back and forth where Hassan was trying to explain this to Ethan. Why did people get so upset with the fucking errors comment? Well, because it was part of that argument. Hassan wanted to make it clear to Ethan, you cannot punish some Arabs in some other location because of what Arabs in other locations have done. That's not okay. And Ethan was too dumb to realize that was what Hassan was trying to say. And instead of hearing him out, maybe asking him like, can you explain it in a different way, which normal people do, even when in a debate. If you don't get it, you can just say, hey, I don't get it. So Hassan was owning him there because Ethan kept on not getting it. And then he said, the fucking Arabs. So when you say the fucking Arabs, then you're talking about Arabs, which is all of them, including Palestinians. So you're portraying them as this monolith when it's a very large group and it's very diverse. There are Christian Arabs, there are Jewish Arabs, there are Muslim Arabs. So there are all these different countries, and some of these countries, and this is what like Denims was saying yesterday, I think, had like outside control. They were like, like France,
Yeah.
Algeria, Morocco.
I don't know that's a fucking problem. Like I couldn't like
if Hassan had said the fucking Jews, like the fucking.
So by saying that, AB is now saying like people are making a problem out of, they are actually upset about that. You idiot. I know it's not nice to say idiot. That was the argument. And then he said the fucking Arabs. It's directly connected to that thing. It's directly linked. It's directly linked. If he would have said the fucking anti-Semitic Arabs, if he said that, then the only critique that would remain is Ethan doesn't understand that you can't punish Palestinians for what other Arabs have done to Jewish people. That's not fair. They're different people. Right? So it just completely goes above his head.
Jews caused the Nakba, and the fucking Jews caused this. Ethan would have rightfully been angry, but like, wait a minute.
Really? I wonder if someone's gonna make that point.
Let me go back.
I don't know that's a fucking problem. Like I couldn't like
if Hassan had said the fucking Jews, like the fucking Jews caused the Nakba, and the fucking Jews caused this.
So he's saying, what if Hassan would have said all those things that Ethan said? He's leading into it a bit more by saying multiple sentences. I have to agree, but okay.
Ethan,
it's a podcast, so he doesn't want to speak for too long.
Rightfully been angry, but like, wait a minute.
Really?
So he's saying if Hassan would have said what Ethan would have said, he would have been cancelled. He might have been banned as well. But he would have definitely been, like Ethan would definitely get upset with Hassan for that stuff. Yeah, that's all true. So now he's saying, really? Okay.
I wonder if someone's gonna make that point. I wonder if someone's gonna make that point, or sit there and be the little the pet for his Zionist boss, as you like to phrase it. I wonder if someone's gonna make that fucking point.
You just referred to like an entire people as like the fucking Jews in an already tense.
I saw your defense, and you just said, "I know you meant Arabs, and not fucking Arabs." That was like what you said.
Conversation where everyone's accusing the other. This one's accusing.
I've not seen him push back on Ethan. I don't think it was a real pushback.
This person is accusing
you should show me.
You have to be extra careful with your words. If Hassan had said the fucking Jews, Ethan and Eli would have rightfully been furious. They would have been like, whoa, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from? Now,
Lina doesn't understand that it is a good point, but it's not a point that they can use.
It could be someone that misspoke. Maybe no one passion.
But they are using it because AB said. So AB made a point about that argument and said, hey, it seemed that you didn't really understand that Hassan was trying to explain to you that you can't blame Arabs that had nothing to do with the Jews being expelled for the fact that they were expelled. You can't kick people out of their house and say, well, people that kind of look like you kicked me out of my house, so now I can kick you out of my house.
I get what you were saying, because Ethan said a lot of...
And what did Ethan say when you confronted him?
Other things that were Islamophobic, that were very problematic. He kept saying that like the Arabs in general were anti-Semitic and acted as a monolith to kick out the Jews.
Finally, just subscribe for 8 months. Watching on YouTube. Jump over here to give us a party popper emoji.
Tragedy. It's when the Europeans and the Israelis kicked out 800 to 900,000 Palestinians from their home and brutally murdered hundreds of thousands of them, folks. It was disgusting. It's the Nakba. It's called the Great Tragedy. So for them to for AB and Lena just to back, like, yeah, we know what you meant when you said fucking Arabs. It's fine, Ethan. We'll give you the pass. Like, that's fucked up.
Control, regulate.
When did I ever take away from the Nakba? Please, when? Show me the clip. When?
Ethan is doing that. Ethan is misrepresenting it.
Here's the problem. You want to ask me my takes on things and ask me. Don't come in here and fucking ask me what is your boss thing. You don't care. You want the clip of me talking about my boss. Ask me what the fuck I think. Don't frame it in a way like, oh.
Ask me. People are asking you what you think of what your boss has said, not necessarily what you think of your boss. You don't have to say, I think Ethan is a Zionist or whatever. That's not even what people are asking. People are asking, like, what do you think of Ila? Having being proud and proudly saying that she served the IDF and that she kind of looks down on people that don't serve while the genocide is ongoing. You know, you can say, well, on that point, Ethan said the IDF is a terrorist organization, and I agree with Ethan.
Oh, do you agree with it? Ask me what I think, I'll tell you.
There's literally nothing I can
I don't agree with you just because I know you and I think you're right, but there's nothing you can do.
Not just
it's still, I think it's a valid criticism, though, that when talking about something that sensitive, that keeping your emotions in check and just speaking calmly and clearly without...
Be honest with you.
Using that kind of language, it is going to get clipped.
First of all, that's
the fucking...
I mean, kind of understandable.
Understandable from Ila.
John said the fucking Jews. There's no way you would have dropped that.
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony, sounds like we made the same fucking point. Are you gonna acknowledge that? I bet.
If he would have said the fucking Jews, yeah, okay. I have not seen this before. Okay, so I will acknowledge that you did call him out for this. Let's see how he responds.
I bet you he doesn't.
It doesn't make. First of all, that's when and what.
Hey, why are you sitting in silence? Why are you sitting in silence?
So he's defending.
You want to criticize the guy who sits
in silence?
No,
Ethan is defending. So I want to see how you respond to Ethan. He's just defending himself.
Well, I just said something. I made the same point you made because I was sitting there.
But I want to see. We want to see how Ethan responds.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
I'm waiting.
Context, does that make sense?
Well, what do you mean?
Ethan is completely context that makes sense.
Any context, if anyone says the fucking Jews in any sentence, it's fuck. Just like if you say the fucking Arabs in any sentence, it's fuck. But wait a minute, in what context can you say that? There's a million contexts.
You're not gonna acknowledge that? You're not gonna acknowledge that we just
He's making your point. He's saying what you said, and he's saying what his Ethan response is really bad. What an idiot. And you're saying you're an idiot.
made the same point?
He's literally saying what you said, so he's kind of watching Ethan, and obviously people want to see how you react when Ethan just deflects like
It
that.
could be anything. The fucking Jews love chicken, bro. Whatever the fuck it is, it's gonna sound fucked.
He was, I don't know, whatever.
The Arabs.
I'm literally making the same fucking point. Okay, so there.
Context, I guess it's impossible for me.
We're not gonna see if you respond to Ethan when he's not understanding the critique and not owning up to it. Okay.
I'm talking about my video.
I honestly, it's perfect, guys. Oh my. Because I think it's relevant, and then we'll move on to AB's videos. I just need, can you guys read the chats while I find that clip?
Tempest
I've
said,
already
"I've done this
reacted
job
to
description."
AB's videos.
It's like
And Lena, sadly, at this point,
the same point he did.
Same
Let me
point.
see.
I don't think that. How is that labeled as Arab approval? It's like you just made the same point he did.
Right.
Arab approval.
Make
Let's
Ethan-
keep
The
going.
reason that me and Lena you guys are trying to push.
That book by
We're
see.
not that because we're what you guys say we are, but because we are counter narratives, which you guys are trying to push.
Avi Schleim. And I
I
don't know what the
don't
context
know.
was. Fucking donate. Please.
Fucking donate.
This is the angel and devil.
Guys, I know that there's some people in chat saying some mean things about these.
No,
these
be
girls.
nice, be nice.
Yeah, no,
well,
be
let's hear them out. Let's hear them out. I'm sorry. No, Lena's right. I'm just messing.
I'm not sure.
She's not allowed to speak. That was amazing. Let's go back. Let's
Post the
go
chat.
back.
I pinned the link for a donation.
So fucking donate. Please.
Fucking donate.
This is the angel and devil on my fucking shoulders right here on the bottom. The angel and the devil.
Donate, guys.
These are the two voices in my head all the time.
I found
The angel and the devil?
Be kind to them, guys. I know that there's some people in chat saying some mean things about these.
No,
these
be
girls.
nice, be nice.
Yeah, no,
well,
be
let's
nice.
hear them out. Let's hear them out. I'm sorry. No, Lena's right. I'm just messing.
I'm not sure.
Shoulders right here on the bottom.
It's funny. This is a funny, interesting dynamic. Because what you see here, I want to do it at 100 speed. It's a dynamic in their relationship.
The angel on the left and the devil.
Donate, guys.
These are the two voices in my head at all time.
I'll keep it
Let's
on.
just be kind to them, guys. I know that
Let's be kind to them. I know that.
there's some people in chat saying some mean things about these.
There's some people in chat saying some mean things about these
No,
people.
it'd be
Girl.
nice.
These girls, okay?
Nice.
Yeah, no, be
Well,
nice.
let's hear
Like,
them out. Let's hear them out.
So he cuts her off. Let's hear them out. Let's hear them out.
I'm sorry. No,
I'm sorry. Lena is right, but then
Lena's right. I'm just messing.
I'm not sure.
let her speak, dude. Interesting.
Missouri.
You guys have seen it,
You
bro.
don't have.
You know where to find it.
The people, interesting fact is that when I respectfully criticized him, I got banned. But the people talking horribly about the two girls there, they're not getting banned. They're just getting a verbal warning or recommendation to maybe change their tune.
I'm
Interesting.
sure.
Okay, I'll find it.
خلاص طبعا.
It's in the
She
DM.
likes them.
Don't get.
Oh wait, members go up sent. Okay, no, it was just tenure. Using.
Let's keep forwarding.
To emphasize what he was saying. Then go ahead. That just proves
What,
a
let's
clip
see.
of him saying fucking Arabs to be the point.
Obvious. Him and Ela have a very deep hatred towards.
Then why don't you talk about why you think that instead of using a
Why do they have this deep hatred? Okay. You really think that is interesting to talk about how there is so much propaganda where, you know, as a kid they learn that Arabs hate them and blah, blah, blah. The fact that it's an apartheid, it's an ethno-state. When you're living in the ethno-state, you grow up in the ethno-state, you kind of turn into the ethno-state. It becomes part of your identity. You get tattoos of the ethno-state. You know, when people criticize you for getting that tattoo, and they're not super respectful, then you dox their family, show their friends on Instagram. He will talk about that later as well. So that is interesting. Why don't you talk about that stuff? They need to explain. If they have dumbass views, they're the ones that need to explain it. They will be confronted about their dumbass views. You will be confronted about their dumbass views. Bad Empanada guy is the best pro-Israel propaganda ever. I don't think so.
a
but
clip
okay.
of him saying fucking Arabs to be the point. Go ahead. You make your argument. Make your argument. Make your argument. Because if you're gonna use that fucking Arabs, which clearly
Oh, he's running defense now. Let's go. Bring up the shields, AB.
he was using it to emphasize what
He was using it to emphasize, but he was not getting the point that Hassan was trying to make, where he was explaining you cannot steal Arabs' houses because some other Arabs kicked you out of your house in a completely different country.
What he was saying. Then go ahead. That just proves that you're being disingenuous with this argument.
No, it doesn't prove that they're disingenuous with the argument.
Like, you can tell because that's the environment she was raised in. So it's definitely.
Yeah, here you go. You just said, why don't you try to explain why they have this type of opinion? Well, Ethan went there on birthright, right? And then he married his IDF assigned wife.
Her brain. And he's.
Ela is Israel brained.
Stupid, and he follows everything she says, so.
Is it just because Ethan is low IQ? He is relatively low IQ, like all these people are. I don't think they are. Like, Do Not Worry podcast. It's pretty clear that they are not as stupid as Lena, AB, Ethan, Hila, Zach. Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it.
Guys, خلاص صباح.
I'll send it.
ماذا أصير? Send it to me.
I made some response.
Let's see. Let's see. What does he have to say?
Honest question. Do you think you work for a Zionist? I think.
Okay. Do you think you work for Zionists?
Think that I'll speak
Hila is, if you don't consider her to be one,
for myself as an Arab. And
they didn't talk about
someone who's trying to defend Palestine. You guys have a lot of people have like pushed me to the point of like, man, like they're like, you guys really don't care what
30-day ban, misrepresenting tier list, making fun of people donating to charity for Palestinians. Like, their list is quite long, okay?
What the fuck I'm saying. Like, you don't care what I'm saying. Like, you don't care when I'm defending Palestine.
So he's like, well, on my own streams, I'm defending like on the podcast, like, yeah, I saw you just pushing back on Ethan. You didn't show us how Ethan responded to it because he doesn't take criticism that well.
You know what I mean? It's like,
and that's what.
And then there is a risk of escalation, right? Because then it's like, okay, I'll criticize them, but he's like deflecting. I need to keep talking because he doesn't get it. Is that what happened? I don't think so. But okay.
All of this, it's just like it's all so drama related.
Palestinians, charity, making fun of people that donate to Palestinian charities. It's all drama related, Lena says. Is this just... I'm not going to constantly label something as low IQ or just being deliberately misinforming people and painting a different picture. It's maybe a combination. Let's leave it with that.
We're losing focus of what's really important.
What is important is that your boss made fun of people that donated to Palestinian charities. Your two bosses made fun of student protesters in Colombia and other universities and colleges in America. Students protesting the genocide. Do you know what role they played with the Vietnam War? So they were making fun of them. Like, look at those privileged people. What do they know? And Hila basically thinks, like, if you haven't lived in Israel or Gaza, you're not allowed to have an opinion about it. Like the Douglas Murray argument.
Yeah.
Drama-driven, I should say.
It's limits and just research.
Saying it's drama-driven is really messed up. Yeah.
Subscribed for 8 months. Easy sub.
Self-owned, because there is valid criticism.
As an Arab and seeing the way people clip me and talk about me and misrepresent me,
He's now focusing on all the bullshit about, like, oh, okay, they're creating clips out of context, blah, blah, blah. Like, your podcast is doing it constantly. Yeah, I do agree that Bad Empanada leaned heavily into what that you said that Anthony was an example. You have kind of a defense by saying they love you as an example. They think you're an example of an Arab being barbaric. Here's the thing, dude. It's still a dumb statement. It's still a dumb statement because people get upset, people curse. Sometimes it happens. Doesn't mean that they're barbaric.
I could understand being a Jewish man and being frustrated.
You're basically saying that Arab people are not allowed to get angry and curse. As soon as they do that, they're used as an example as being barbaric, but you don't agree that them cursing is actually them being barbaric. If someone is using something as an example when it doesn't represent that, it's not an example, then you can just say, well, they're wrong. So the fact that you mentioned it means that you think it's kind of an example of an Arab guy being barbaric. If it's not, if it's completely not, because it's just an Arab guy really upset that has valid criticism for you and he's cursing, which is not very mature, you would not have said they love you as an example. I get that they do use a lot of stuff as examples of stuff that it doesn't represent. Like, they are very false in that sense. I totally get that. But no, you're telling him you're making it really easy for them to do that, which kind of makes me think that you do agree to a degree that it is an example of an Arab guy being barbaric. It's not that crazy for people to put that label on you, like that statement.
With the way that people are characterizing him and just like
characterizing Ethan.
Again, I'll speak for myself. It's just pushing me and pushing me and pushing me until even right now. And then all these people, they're eating good tonight. They're eating good tonight. They don't have no lives anyway, so they're sitting home. But they're clipping me, and this is what they've always wanted. They've wanted this stream to say, here, we have the proof. We have.
There's a genocide ongoing. They always wanted. Okay.
Have the proof of AB defending Ethan and Hila. This is what they've been waiting for.
So what he's ignoring here is the fact that Ethan and Hila have been shown receipts from the past. There's a genocide. It's front and center. It's the topic of the day, of the year. Right? Everyone is talking about it. So it's not crazy that people are extra critical of a podcast like H3 right now. And AB is turning it into, it's about me, actually. He's centering himself here. Like, they just out to get me. And Lena is probably agreeing.
You know, and it's like, they don't care about fucking Palestine. And
that's a messed up statement right there. To claim that they don't care about Palestine is a messed up statement. You're saying this toward all your H3 viewers. So this to me is an indication that you are fully embracing it. You know what? I'm on Ethan's side on all of this. These people are anti-Palestine. When they are saying that Ethan is saying anti-Palestine stuff or doing anti-Palestine stuff, you're saying, no, they are anti-Palestine. They don't care about Palestine. That's really messed up. Instead of actually engaging with the critique.
That's the fucking thing. Again, I'm sure some do. But if you do,
some of them care about Palestine. Still messed up.
Then focus on critiquing his points.
They are. His points and actions are being critiqued. And you're being critiqued because you associate with him. Not just as someone that is working on the back end, editing videos for them. You're part of the podcast and you have a microphone.
You know, don't focus on just fucking making up shit and harassing his crew.
So the criticism that AB is getting is just harassment. So that's a great way of engaging with criticism.
Send it on WhatsApp. Okay. Is there anything in the chat that you guys can check while I open the link real quick?
Kelly took.
Open that one.
I agree. 100% do care that shit slinging is annoying, but there are good points being ignored because of the drama. I agree.
He is the one ignoring the good points. Some people do care. The shit slinging is annoying, but there are good points made and ignored because of the drama. The good points are, there is valid criticism. What else is Matty Stephen is saying, or who gives a fuck what some podcasters' opinion are and just donate and advocate. Yeah, the podcast opinion is it's lame to protest the genocide as a student. It's dumb to donate. That's what the podcast is saying. So the podcaster is actively trying to get people to donate less to Palestine. And then you're saying, who gives a fuck? Well, there's an Arab on that podcast.
I agree 100%.
That claims to be pro-Palestine. So.
But how are we supposed to sift through the shit in the actual fucking...
It's not that difficult. I've made videos.
Point.
If you actually react to Bad Empanada's videos where he criticizes Ethan and Hila, let's see you debunk those.
You know what I mean? It would be a lot easier to argue in defense of Palestine if I didn't have people...
The way AB versus his boss is were they worried? Isn't there a genocide going on? What?
Undermining me by just throwing nothing. Because then...
I think this is just a small part of lefties and liberals divorcing. They share the spaces and it's pretty nasty. They miss and hate each other. I don't know.
It undermines any type of pushback.
for the fucking Europeans for their brutal ethnic cleansing. It's pure racism. I be saying the fucking Europeans all the time, personally. You should incorporate it in your vocabulary.
Let's go. We got it. We got the clip.
900,000 Jews.
So Mike from PA, who he really dislikes, and he also claimed that Mike doesn't care about Palestinians, which is kind of a messed up statement. He says that he quotes Ethan, and then, yeah, that's the argument. The most racist clip I've ever heard in my life.
Approximately 700 to 900,000 were forced to become Zionists, not by choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to fucking Arabs. The anti-Semitic Arabs.
There you go.
What?
Listening.
Hassan's face when he says fucking Arabs. So basically, that is what.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
That is what AB is okay with defending. Now that all that context.
Yeah, just a bit, like not so long ago, you were kind of defending it.
Even though I said exactly what you said, just for the.
So the only clip we saw of AB pushing back was saying, if you, instead of saying Arabs, you say fucking Arabs, that is messed up. Why include the word fucking? But the main argument where you're like confused, why are people upset about that, which was linked to this, which was shown in Mike. So AB cannot claim that he doesn't understand. Like here you can see it. Like he says, they're upset about two things. One is that he said fucking Arabs, and the other is because he's saying that the Arabs forced Jews to become Zionists and take over houses from Palestinians. Right? Like that argument. It's the same thing.
Approximately 700 to 900,000 were forced to become Zionists, not by choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to fucking Arabs.
It's part of that argument.
The anti-Semitic Arabs.
And Hassan thinks it's an own. Because, yeah, it's kind of a mask-off moment. Yeah, true.
There you go.
What?
Listening.
Hassan's face when he says fucking Arabs. So basically, that is what.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
That is.
I'm not really getting it.
What AB is okay with defending. Now that all that context out of the way.
So Anthony is talking about the tweet. He showed the tweet from Mike from PA, which makes it clear it's not just about the word fucking. That's not the only thing. It's the argument. It's part of that argument. It's all part of one thing. It's one singular thing. It shows that he has a dislike or whatever for Arabs in general and blames Arabs in general. And he cannot be specific enough to say anti-Semitic Arabs or Arabs in those countries. Like he just forgets that he needs to include those things as well in his argument. And AB is just confused.
No, I said exactly what you said.
No, you
just
didn't.
For the record.
You didn't.
It is time to watch the AB video.
Let me hear him one more time.
What?
Listening.
Hassan's face when he says fucking Arabs. So basically, that is what.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
That is.
When he says that is what AB is defending, he's talking about the argument plus fucking Arabs. Like those two things are
what
combined.
AB is okay with defending. Now that all that context.
Just saying the word fucking is bad in front of Arabs is kind of dumb.
Out of the way.
That's like you're minimizing what the problem actually is.
No, I said exactly what you said. Just for the record.
You didn't.
It is time to watch the AB video.
Don't.
And I'm speaking. It's not more.
Care about Palestine. Don't care about what Israel's doing in Lebanon.
PA got the Arab pass. Yeah, he took my pass. He took it from me.
You don't get to decide if someone. What pass?
Do you truly believe that these people living in Lebanon don't care about Palestine? Don't care about what Israel's doing in Lebanon?
No, they do. I should let me clarify. I believe they do. I do. When it sucks because we're reacting.
Is she pushing back on him?
Now that all.
Someone in chat says they should be fighting people in the government and not people online. It proves it's not for Palestine. Wow.
That context out of the way.
You can tell these people don't have a job. Anthony has a job. Noor has a job.
No, I said exactly what you said. Just for the record.
It is time to watch the AB video.
Why does it have to be a competition about who cares more? That's what they do to you guys. It's so gross. Yeah, I'm missing the point.
Let me just close that down.
Do you truly believe? Yes. Okay, so she's reading a chat message. Do you truly believe these people living in Lebanon don't care about Palestine? don't care about what Israel is doing in Lebanon. Do you truly believe that? The fact this is the best they got. What?
A lot of things.
Do you truly believe... Oh, wait, that's a different person. Do you truly believe that? Yeah. Okay, so someone is confronting them and saying... Because AB did say they don't really care about Palestine. And then he said some of them do. So I guess they do, but Mike doesn't. Does Hassan? Does Badam Panada? No, he thinks Badam Panada doesn't care about Palestine.
Yeah, he took my pass. He took it from me.
Do you truly believe that these people living in Lebanon don't care about Palestine? Don't care about what Israel's doing in Lebanon?
No, they do. I should. Let me clarify. I believe they do. I do. When it sucks because we're.
They care about not being bombed. They don't want to be bombed. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Reacting to them, and I'm speaking in a more general sense about haters overall. But I.
Still stupid to say that about Mike. About Badam Panada, you could say it about me, and then you're wrong.
I do think what they're doing right now is disingenuous. Just this.
This is you're labeling what they're doing there as disingenuous when they're just reacting to what Ethan said, which was really, really, really spicy.
Ingenuous, but it's not that. It's not even so much that they're intending to do it, but it's like. They're just pushed so hard, you know, by Snark. Like even him, like
God, it's all Snark, guys.
He's shown me grace, but he can't. It's tough for him.
He's shown me grace, but he can't. It's tough for him.
It's tough for him to show me any grace because the Snark won't let him.
God, this is just so stupid. This is.
Yeah. They don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
The Snark don't want him to be compassionate or understand AB. That's the reason why he's doubling down. That's such a dumb thing to say. You're reacting to the podcast.
Update.
You're hearing it, baby. You're the first time.
And there we go. And they were like, we're about to.
You guys defend Ethan, so you're all fair game. This is.
That is true. Yeah.
The first time you're hearing it, baby. You're the first time. What? And you guys are fucking losers, so y'all are fair game too. Again, not.
Wow, great defense.
I thought about Millhouse talking about the loser in chat.
Someone in chat says you guys defend Ethan, so it's all fair game. Yeah, that is true. You are defending Ethan, primarily defending Ethan. Yeah, I've been doing that. That's how he landed the job. So it's not a weird thing to say, but yeah, okay. Why do we keep speaking about the Snark as if it's still active?
Here we go. You guys ready?
Focusing on AB's boss doesn't do a damn thing for Palestine, someone says in the chat. I'm not going to repeat myself, so we know that they're doing more harm than good. So focusing on his boss, that has deplatformed people that are speaking up against the genocide, yeah. These creators don't care about Palestine, so we have Dear God, it's me, Becca. So Becca has bought into this thing that AB just said. They only care about you making you look bad and using Palestine to do this, which is foul. Yeah, it's all about AB. It's not about the genocide. Yeah, good point, Becca.
You ready?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Is at stake? I think the drama is unfortunate, but I hope you continue to offer a different.
Get off my chest.
I'll explain why I'm in the back.
Can I have the?
I agree that it's hard to focus on the issues when little income is at stake. I think the drama is unfortunate, but I hope you continue to offer a different perspective in the show. You know, I get.
He doesn't really offer a different perspective in the show. All I've seen now is one clip of him pushing back.
I want to say more, but it's these people who are silencing me.
It's these people silencing him, not the fact that Ethan doesn't really handle critique well and he might lose his job.
People are the ones that are causing me issues. It's all.
So basically, don't criticize me. Don't confront me with the nasty stuff your boss is doing when you're part of that podcast.
The people who are like, one week they use me to say, oh, look,
he gets buttoned.
He's really centering himself here.
When he tries to fight back. And then the next week, it's
Love you.
Another commenter says they use these people, so Anthony, those Lebanese people are also using the Palestinians as shield to deflect any form of criticism against them as well. You're all just adopting the same rhetoric you claim to hate.
I've never let these books make you question yourself or your heart.
Fuck you to Arabs. It's again, they just like they don't treat us like humans.
You know who is not treating the Palestinians as humans? That is what it's about, right? And he's saying the people criticizing the show and AB are not treating AB as a human.
You know, and again, out of everyone, and I'll say this again, and
now Nilma, a longtime subscriber, I think, is asking, do you think Hassan has an overall negative or positive effect? It's very interesting, that comment. Why? It's like, hey, AB, are you stepping out of line? Please show us that you're in line.
I don't care if I get shit for it. Hassan is the only one who hasn't talked shit about us. You could argue if you think he's being sincere or not.
Yeah, he is not talking shit because he's being targeted by Ethan. So it kind of makes him look worse if he starts attacking the crew. And at the end of the day, the attack towards the crew is not as big as the attack towards Ethan and Hila. Like, people are primarily upset with them. Yeah. Like, the case against AB and Lena is not as good as the case against Ethan and Hila, obviously. So Hassan is focusing, so yeah.
Or not, but he's the only one that said to leave us alone.
Yeah, someone in chat is saying, so we're not banning people, right?
No, you don't have to ban people.
They are. They did ban me. Permanent.
Ico smoking while I watch my... So here we go. We are reacting to...
And I didn't say anything disrespectful.
AB. Let me restart it for the clip.
So yeah,
we are going to react to AB talking about...
And
they did do it later, though.
And it's not about defending here. It's not even that I'm defending it. It's about the point that it's not productive. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything unless you're trying to use us to hurt... trying to hurt Ethan.
So he's now saying that they're weaponizing him to hurt Ethan. I guess when, he's deplatforming pro-Palestinian voices, saying that donating to Palestinian charities. So if he's doing more harm than he's doing good for the Palestinian cause, people like to see Ethan lose subscribers, which is happening. Yeah, they're using you to hurt him. You could say that, because if you're leaving, that's a big thing, right? If the only Arab people that are in this podcast are leaving, people will think, hey, it's probably because they're saying they're doing more harm than good, and they can't live with themselves if they're supporting that and profiting off of that, which they are. Yeah, you could say they're kind of weaponizing you, but yeah. The reason why that is a thing is because of your podcast and what they have been doing. Let's read a comment. My company is hella conservative, but I'm not going to go around arguing with the CEO. But I'm going to do what I can on my own time. Like, why is that so bad? So, Katie doesn't seem to understand that there's a difference between working for a company where the CEO is very conservative. Is the company doing harm? Is the company doing harm with regard to the Palestinians? Is the company silencing pro-Palestinians when there is a genocide happening? Is the CEO on Twitter saying Israel should just finish them off? Is that the case? If that is the case, I can imagine you maybe not wanting to work there anymore if you care, right? So yeah, bad example.
It's not productive.
Me and Bad Empanada, essentially. Is AB going to call me a barbaric Arab? Let's see, and let's have... I wanted to respond with my team, with my Lebanese crew, folks, so let's go.
Oh, hello. I have a few updates for you guys.
It hasn't even started
and also,
let's forward.
It didn't take a year. I wasn't training.
Reyes, gloves right here. I've been training for a couple years now. It ain't no joke when you train for boxing, bro, and the dedication that it takes. So I'm sure Lena has spent a lot of...
It didn't take a year. I wasn't training for a year, but that is true. It takes a lot of work.
So it was really Lena and AB's choice to pull her out of the fight. They really thought, oh my god, Ian made the Content Cup video. I cannot fight against the other person that has nothing to do with Ian or Anissa or whatever. I trained for this fight. You know what? I do think it's really awkward for me to fight the person I prepared to fight in a charity event because they made a video about my boss. Yeah, sure.
Guys, and I did get LASIK.
Countless hours in the gym, sweating, fucking getting injuries, whatever you want.
LASIK is a dangerous operation, actually, but okay.
Thank you so much. DiMartino.
DiMartino. I think Ethan, right now, the set is good that you guys are there. You leaving will help.
It's good that they are there, not when they can't really push back.
Understandably to radicalize. Thank you for the dono. Eyes. They're like, give them back.
I'm gonna skip like, jokes and stuff
for a
like
long
that.
time.
Right,
If we
and I
drop
have hiccups right now.
Ian, how?
We're in a tough situation. We were friends with Ian and Issa. We were friends with.
So would I be friends with someone that is? Would I call someone a friend that is like doing more harm with regard to the Palestinians than good when there is a genocide happening? No, I would probably not call them my friends.
With
You don't have to be friends with your boss.
Ethan and Hila. We work for Ethan and Hila. They have a beef.
It's not just a beef. They're doing more harm than good.
They both have big audience.
Calling it beef is kind of like, well, the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? Like Hassan and Ethan Hila have beef, but like it's just beef, right? It's not about Palestine and the genocide. It's not like a pretty big thing. So let me read here. Someone writes, AB, what people don't get is that you're stuck in the middle and they're judging you based on what you don't do rather than what you actually say. It's toxic. Yeah, the fact that he's not really pushing back. Yeah, you're stuck in the middle. I think, would he get fired if he really pushes back? I guess, but like, why would you want to be part of a podcast that is doing more harm than good, where you can't really push back?
Lena's thrown in the middle. It's so clear that of what comes with it. Look what's even after. Look what's happening.
You're getting valid criticism. Yeah.
They were
They
going to
are
be
so
Lena's
sweet,
opponent.
What are you saying? Yeah, they are.
It's over now.
Funky frog bait.
That's
I hope they
not
do well in the
tainted
fight.
by
Also, they have actually an opponent that is willing to fight.
internet
Okay.
beef. That's that.
Good.
Okay, so they kind of did then. What are you saying? What are you saying? No, they never said that she had to drop.
Okay, so he's now going to explain how Lena herself really wanted to stop fighting. Okay,
They
let's
said
listen.
they supported her no matter what.
They didn't say during the stream, oh, Ian put you in this really difficult position and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay.
Ian just subscribed.
They did not say she had to drop.
Thank you, Nima, for the
You don't have to explicitly say that someone has to drop, but you can make it very clear that it's very awkward if they don't.
suppy. Let me check out.
It's funny because, yeah.
Lena, but at the same time, Lena, if she
He's drunk, I think, and he's going to say stuff that can easily be used against him.
posted, she would get nonstop shit about it, saying that how could you do this to Ethan and Hila?
Boom! Let's go back.
Let me check out.
Lena leaves.
But
I'm not claiming that she's leaving because it's about that topic. It could be. But what AB says here is really interesting. So Lena had to drop because of all the people saying, how could you do that to Ethan? Interesting. Interesting. How could you do that to Ethan?
But at the same time,
so you're saying that the content cop and the critique for Ethan is not valid because, right? Because people are upset that they have been criticized. But Ethan calls all the criticism bullshit and snark, and you're on that side then. Because you agree with people that would say, like, how could you do this to Ethan? Because you can't do this to Ethan. You're basically saying, we couldn't do this to Ethan and Hila. That's it.
Lena.
You know how, as an owner of a company, as if I was Ethan, you know how easy it would be for me as Ethan to reassure you that you should just ignore the haters and you should just fight? That's not what they did, right? They didn't do that on the podcast. They said, Ian put you in this difficult position. They should pay your back and blah, 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 blah. They didn't say, just fight. Fuck it, just fight. Knock her out. You can do it. We got you. It will be fine. Do you think they would have pulled? No, they would not have pulled. Elena wouldn't have pulled.
If she posted, she would get nonstop shit about it, saying that how could you do this to Ethan and Hila?
Which is something you can ignore because it's stupid, right?
When they did so much for you and you're posting.
They did so much for you. How could you? They did so much for you. How could you? Oh my God.
about this event when this happened and this happened.
Yeah, we couldn't do that to our Lord and Savior.
So, Lena got a call one day from the team, and it was about promotion. And so basically, Lena said she could stay in and not promote. Or
wow. So you're part of a charity event. You've prepared to fight. The fight and the charity event is not in any way like. Ian has a YouTube channel. He's allowed to make a content cup. The content cup was not about you or Lena. And then because it's your boss, because he's criticizing your boss, Lena said, I cannot promote the event because that would be messed up from Ethan's perspective when there is also valid criticism.
Or, you know, if they want to find someone else, whatever Lena's opponent was most comfortable with is what we want to do, because we didn't want to take away the experience from them. And I'm not putting it all on Funky. I'm not saying this is what Funky wanted, but after speaking with the Creator Clash team and they're discussing with their team, whatever, we all decided.
Someone in chat says 90% of their beef is fabricated by their crazy imaginations.
It was best that Lena wasn't in it.
Interesting. You just said if she didn't pull from the fight, people would constantly tell her, "Why? How could you do this to Ethan?"
And I was sincerely starting to worry that she was going to get hurt because of all this bullshit.
She would get hurt because of the bullshit. That is quite the claim. So someone is going to attack her because she's boxing. Funny how nobody, literally none of the people that have made content about Ethan and AB or whatever, none of them have actually said Lena shouldn't fight. Anthony also said she should just fight.
Because she can't focus at practice because her phone is nonstop getting shit from both sides.
She can't focus on practice because her phone is not on silent when she's practicing. Fascinating. Does she have like her Apple Watch with her during the training?
Documentary that I haven't
That's
put out yet.
such a stupid thing to say.
They be on the show. They really took away something big from her, man. Like that whole walkout.
Clearly, he's not focused. He's like sleepy or drunk or whatever. It's really bad.
They're walking out to like thousands of screaming fans.
We're gonna be shown.
Yeah,
it's just fucked, man. All that work, all that time.
Yeah, saying you should fight.
You guys want to see her robe? Should I?
Okay. Thank you.
Let's keep going because
our twist. This is
free Palestine robe.
Palestine.
Yeah, you didn't get to show that to a lot of people because how could you do that to Ethan and Hila?
Zionism.
I can see in Lena's eyes that she's really happy that she did the right thing.
This was
worth it. I love him so much.
For nothing.
And I mean to start working out again in the first place. So, and I'm gonna keep up with it.
She's like, oh, at least I worked out and I'm more fit. Okay, great.
Like I said, me and Lena, and but we did feel comfortable doing that, even though we worked for them. What does that tell you? We didn't see the robe
with it.
The robe.
So you're saying we felt comfortable for Lena to wear a free Palestine robe in the fight that she pulled herself from because she was worried that people would say, how could you do that to Ethan and Hila if they have done so much for you? He's using this now as an own to show them, like, see, the fact that we were able to do this. Maybe you should have added from the river to the sea.
Me and Lena. And
see how they would react.
But we did...
Ethan is not that happy with that. Ethan agrees that statement is something that pisses off a lot of people.
Feel comfortable doing that, even though we work for them. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Ethan doesn't have a huge issue with you guys being pro-Palestine. Yeah, you make content about Palestine on your own streams. That's fine. But are you talking about how Ethan is wrong in certain ways for doing stuff and saying stuff?
Always keep going. Anything other than water?
No thanks. Ginger for more.
I don't even thank you, Ginger. I wonder if they get to pay they're gonna say that jobs.
They would. I have
Avery
Let's keep going because
no
the stream is way too long.
Propaganda when you see it and when you hear it, and
He stopped streaming.
How he's gonna frame? Oh,
It
my
might get
God.
pulled.
No,
The video might
I
get
honestly
pulled.
did not expect
Keep
this.
just subscribe.
Oh my God, he's gonna try to. I'll tell you exactly what he's gonna try to do.
Let's go.
an
Let's
Arab
go
should
back.
be publicly. I don't. Let's talk about.
Let's
not.
this is
Correct.
an interesting
Bullshit
point.
propaganda when you see it and when you hear it, and you know what's right and what's wrong. AB, let's not pretend that you don't. So that's kind of what annoys me. No one is expecting you to be perfect, and also his image of like what an Arab should be publicly. I don't. Let's talk about that for a second.
So.
I love this. I love this. I love this. I know
He's going to predict what Anthony's going to say. Let's see.
exactly how he's gonna frame. Oh my God, no, I honestly did not expect
Keep
this.
just subscribe.
Oh my God, he's gonna try to. I'll tell you exactly what he's gonna try to do.
Go for it.
Should I let it play or should I try it?
No, just
I think
try.
he's gonna try to say that I'm doing like a Candace Owens thing, where Candace Owens is like, no, he can't be. He can't.
What is Candace Owens doing? Why not just say it, man?
Never mind. Let it play.
Okay, so if it is what you thought it would be, then you would say that is exactly what I thought. Which fine, but then let's see.
One of the reasons.
What I'm gonna do is here. You guys catch up on the chats. I'm gonna
He's
play this on
responding.
YouTube.
First time chatter. He's responding to you. How is it farming? Yeah, but
He's responding to you. How's it farming? Good point. Then someone else says, this is definitely cloud chasing. They made a point to freak out over 1,000 viewers, bro. What?
responding to him.
So we can speed it up
Chicken
a little
and
bit.
egg, baby.
Okay. Master Warhol sent $2 and said for the playlist, for the DNW playlist.
Still doesn't understand. That's telling me. It's not about him responding to me. It's what his response is.
The only critique you can really give him for his response is the fact that he gets really upset and curses. That's it. Everything else is very valid.
What it was initially was so clear, but and I even clarified even further. So if he still doesn't understand, that's telling.
It's not that difficult to understand what you meant. I see how you try to create some distance. The question is, should you be saying that someone that is just cursing and is upset for some reasons that you're ignoring should be called barbaric? Like, can be used as an example of Arabs being barbaric. If you don't think that that is an example of Arabs being barbaric, then why would you even care that they are going to use something that can't be seen as an Arab being barbaric? That part is the part that AB does not get.
Tell me something.
Wait, let me check.
So we got to like 3 minutes, right?
Vix was back.
Thank you, Yolo Swine. He is.
Don't ever feel the need to do that.
They're not even watching the video. They're talking over it the whole time, assuming that what you're saying is
on anything that
listening.
Kenny says.
So it's safe to assume that Anthony has actually pre-watched what AB has said, okay?
Either tomorrow or...
But anyways.
Laugh my ass off, numbers go up. Dude's been everywhere else during this. Yeah, he has donated like hundreds of subs to Do Not Worry. Dude switched sides, yeah. Lots of people switch sides. Like he has a lot of XH3 members, yeah. They say you don't do enough, but clamor to take up the breaths. Otherwise, useless. I don't. It's not English. I positioned your based. I posited your position based on your subreddit. Not my fault. The misinformation you pour out there reaches the scrutiny of academic circles. Oh, that's I don't know.
Deceptive clip, which
let's keep going.
Crazy if the whole point of even.
Let's go.
I wonder if I'm going to defend him from that deceptive clip. I wonder.
So saying you're going to fight back against it does not disregard the fact that you said they love you as an example of an Arab being barbaric. Then you didn't explicitly say that you completely disagree with that, but you said, I'm going to fight against people, fight against that narrative. What narrative? He's just cursing and he's upset because of something, right? People of all ethnicities get upset and curse. So it's kind of a dumb statement to say that they love you as an example of an Arab being barbaric. Okay. How many people have used that now as an example of Arabs being barbaric? How many Zionists have done that? Because you said that they love him as an example. How many videos are there of Zionists showing Anthony being barbaric? What is it? The compilation of him saying Lebanese curse words and like, look, a barbarian because he's using curse words and when he's upset. Yeah, man, the jets are flying over his house, man. The power of his house is like going down during each stream. They live in Lebanon.
This would be.
So they're really critical of a podcast that Anthony looked up to a lot. He bought a lot of merch from H3. He was a fan. He was a fan of you guys. He was glad that you guys were there representing Lebanon. And then he sees what the podcast is doing, that it's doing more harm than good, and he's expecting you guys to speak up more. Or maybe not want to associate yourself with a podcast that is doing more harm than good.
It'd be crazy, wouldn't it be? It'd be crazy if the whole point of even including him in this video was to defend him from
it was a really dumb statement to say
that deceptive clip. That would be insane.
So Lena also doesn't seem to understand that AB decided to just show a clip of Anthony being upset and cursing and not showing why he's upset.
No way. That makes no fucking sense. I'd have to be in Looneyville to make that point.
I love how Lena didn't think that was funny.
After getting extremely angry at him, after like completely just abandoning his...
I'm watching. Shubadik.
His friend Frogan and just helping Ethan and like completely...
Let's keep going, because I've seen...
Doing that in college, but...
He's not saying I did this. He's saying this is being twisted.
Okay, let's see if Lena is actually making a good comment here. Let's see.
I fought to have a Palestinian flag put on this mural.
I mean, like, respect for AB...
Yeah, he's saying respect for what he actually did.
For doing that
and even in my stream or in my video, I also said it's messed up that people are doing this. Like bending the truth. You were actually asking for the Palestinian flag to be included and not removing it, and they turned it into you asking them to remove it, which is false. It's the opposite. But I also explained how this is kind of a nothing burger in the great scheme of things. This is not the reason why people are criticizing
in college, but AB, that was like 15 years ago, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is a long time ago. I mean, so Anthony saying that's 15 years ago. Like, I get that obviously AB is responding to this and trying to say, like, it's messed up that they're doing this. So that is what Lena is then saying.
If the best...
Okay, I'll give her that it's not about the 15 years ago thing. But on the other hand, like, people are criticizing you not for stuff from 15 years ago. That this weirdo bends the truth is messed up, but like you're zooming in on stuff that is really not that relevant because it's so easy to debunk.
The thing I did for Palestine was in college 16 years ago. I would stop like gloating about it. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, chill.
At this point,
I mean, that's not what he's saying. He's not saying I did this. He's saying this is being twisted.
Yeah.
Lena, how dare you acknowledge what's actually being talked about?
Okay, but there is still that. Yeah, maybe Anthony's response here wasn't great.
Just listen, hear him out.
No.
I mean, I was fair. I just said, hey, zooming in on stuff like this, when you're not discussing the actual critique, like the valid criticism, you're not defending yourself against the valid criticism. This is kind of a nothing burger. Yeah, they're bending the truth. How much traction did this tweet get? Can we see that? Shall we take a look? How many people actually believed this?
I was saying, I stood up and I said, 10 years ago, I put the flag on the wall. How dare you criticize me?
That is kind of what you did, though. So he's making a joke which kind of confirms that he is...
That's what I was saying.
I get the joke, but like...
Or...
It's, I mean, who cares?
Shit that they're might.
This is important to point out.
It might.
16 years later.
Great that you fought to get the Palestinian flag hung on your...
I get why Anthony is saying this. It's because, yeah, you do make streams. In your streams, you apparently talk about Palestine and you are very pro-Palestine, but you're not responding to the valid criticism towards Ethan and Hila, which is what people are asking you to do. This is false in that segment, right? Like, yeah, you can constantly talk about, I have a Palestinian flag here. Look at this rope with the Free Palestine on it. So, yeah, we are doing everything we can. Are you, though, when you're part of a podcast that is deplatforming pro-Palestinian voices, saying that donating to Palestinian charities is lame because what is that going to do? Saying that students protesting the genocide is super lame. What is that going to do? Yeah.
Your university thing in Dearborn, Michigan, but like 16 years later, bro, that ain't enough. What I would say, in my
hey, 16 years later, how old do you think I am?
opinion, you know what I'm saying?
What I did, how?
And would they change the information to make it look like I fought to have?
No, this is crazy. This is important to point out. Like seriously, he's not saying this is what I did. How? Please correct yourself, Jesus.
You sound like.
I mean, it's there, right? He felt the need to address this. Isn't there a little bit of motivation to show that he's very pro-Palestine in that video? You're claiming that, you know, that was not part of it at all? Yeah.
Like a Zionist.
Again, people
No, it seems like someone who's really just doing this for the drama. Like, hey, let's hype this up. Let's keep this beef going.
You know, even on posts defending me, we're like...
Lina's really upset, yeah. There is valid criticism of the podcast. You guys are kind of complicit because you're part of a podcast that is doing messed up stuff.
The fucking paycheck, AB?
So this another example of like zooming in on something really small. I get that the rant and cursing was bad and he apologized within that same stream right after doing it, which is still immature to do it. Like you can hold back, but he's really upset. But yeah, I get it, but still. But zooming in on this stuff is disregarding the valid criticism that you are getting because you're aligned. You're part of a podcast that is doing more harm.
Okay, so fucking pussy. Because this looks bad
what it is.
to show you context that
again, yeah.
a year and a half of
We was still saying fuck your mom and fuck your sister. Let me just be clear.
money. You guys are just accepting that Zionist money.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Again, in Lebanon, it's more. In Lebanese, it's used more like "fuck you."
A year and a half of defending a genocide on a fucking podcast. You like that money, AB? You like the fucking
pay? If I wanted to,
fucking pussy. Sorry, no, that was horrible. No. Let me cut that part out.
That part you didn't include in the video, right?
You guys, you know what?
So you know a lot of people are not going to actually watch Anthony and see what he actually said, so you're leaving that part out, which is deliberate. So yeah, it sounds like you're also farming the drama.
I would say if I wanted to, well, first of all, I don't want to fight with other pro-Palestinian activists, but or people who are pro-Palestine. But
your podcast is deplatforming them.
Besides that point, if I wanted to fight with you guys, the way you're trying to do it with me, you know what I would say? I would say, he said his dick is in my mom and his dick is in my sister, because that's the literal translation. I would say, oh my God, I would put my calls me barbaric. But you see, Millhouse says he wants to sexually assault my family. The way he titled his video, AB calls me a barbarian.
Yeah. He's making a title where he's not using a lot of words, and you didn't literally call him a barbarian, but I've explained it.
Calls me barbaric. But you see,
that's not comparable to like the example you just gave where he's just upset and cursing, and like that would be, yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could have done that. Great for you. You didn't do that. Good for you.
Again, there's no reason for me to put you in this video. There was no reason. I did it just to defend you.
Putting a clip of him cursing and not including the part where he immediately apologized is to defend him. Interesting.
For the record, like there was no like back and forth about it. You've been talking shit about me. Someone posted this about you. I thought it wasn't right.
So it's just, you know, the beef. You guys are fighting with me, and then it's about the fight. Like all the actual arguments.
So I tossed it in the video.
When we first saw that clip, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I'm like, people are gonna take him out of context.
Lena, why didn't AB include the fact that Anthony apologized right after making those bad statements, like cursing? Why didn't he include that?
I'm not gonna know that.
Yeah.
This is how, like, you know.
But Lena, why didn't AB include the part that came right after where Anthony was apologizing? So if we're going to believe AB, that Zionists are going to love him as an example of an Arab being barbaric, while I will do my best to fight against those narratives. If he really is upset with Zionists using him as an example of an Arab being barbarian, even if you don't agree that it's an example. If it's not an example, you should not even mention that. So that's kind of bad. You don't own up to that at all. But if we really think that, you know what will help to make it more difficult maybe for people to use that as an example of an Arab being barbarian or barbaric, to include the part where he immediately apologized right after cursing at you. All right? Because then they see like, okay, he did curse at him, but he also immediately apologized. So if you're using that as an example, then you're saying, well, you're deliberately leaving that part out, but you're not leaving that part in. So you're making it easier for them to use him as an example of an Arab being barbaric. See, it's not that difficult, AB, to analyze this stuff.
Lebanon, and you know, even back home, people say that like casually.
Yeah.
It's still like not.
Lena did say that. It was fucking nasty. I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, it's still nasty. I would never say it. I was so disappointed that he was saying that.
You know what is disappointing? Working for a podcast that is doing more harm to the Palestinian cause than good when a genocide is happening, Lena?
To us. But at the same time, I'm like, the literal
See how they're not talking about the big thing, right?
translation doesn't really match. But also the girl, I don't know the girl next to Nude. I know the girl on the
angel
left.
or the devil?
Karin. Karin is not the devil. That's kind of a messed up thing to say. So Lena, push back on it. Calling her the devil. Lena. Come on, you can do it. Let's hear if Lena pushes back to any degree.
The devil, I guess.
I don't know her.
Yeah, embraces the labeling her as the devil and laughs about it.
I don't know, but why is she laughing then? Why is that funny?
Karin curses a lot. Karin curses a lot, like a lot. I don't know what. I don't speak Lebanese. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is one of the things that I really like about Karin. She has no filter. When she's upset and she's cursing, it sounds pretty cool, I have to admit. Kind of fucked up to call her the devil. Yeah, Noor curses sometimes as well. And it sounds really cute, which is really funny. But yeah, Karin cursing is kind of my oxygen. I think it's funny. And she thinks this is just such a nothing burger, because I agree with her. It's not about this. This is just the meta. This is stuff on the side. It's not about the actual thing. Even if you listen to Karin, you can hear that she is criticizing you guys, and she has valid criticism. Let's keep going.
Well, I mean, because they hate us.
No, but
it's because they hate you. Anthony loved you guys, looked up to you, so yeah, okay.
Well, like, what he's saying. Well, go on, play the clip. Let's see.
I can't do it. It's just
he does literally apologize and retract it immediately after.
Well, yeah, because see, earlier in this, he
But
was
I'm
saying he was
defending
taking
him. My point.
Let me quickly check if the stream is still on. Okay.
Well, like, what he's saying.
Yeah, it's on. Okay, good, because it's saving it on my disk, but I don't have enough disk space.
Listen, do you think my point was like, I demand an apology? What do you think? I'm bad empanada? I'm like, I need an apology and crying. That wasn't my point. My point was to defend him.
Yeah, not a great way of defending someone when you're not including the apology that came.
Know
right
what
after.
he was saying? I was defending him.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Because earlier he said that.
No, if you really wanted to defend him, you would have included the apology at the end. You deliberately left that part out.
It was clipped out of context, literally right after he walked it back a little.
Yeah, why didn't he include that part?
But so why is she laughing?
So why didn't he include that part, Lena?
Like, even he said that he didn't necessarily.
Yeah, he immediately apologized and said that was messed up. Why didn't AB include that part, Lena?
Necessarily mean it, and
she's just laughing because heck.
It's not funny. It's really not funny.
It's not funny to leave that part out, right? When you're saying, when you are claiming that you're upset and you're fighting against Zionists using you as an example of an Arab being barbaric, and you leave out the part that kind of downplays the fact that he was cursing because he immediately apologized and retracts statements that he made.
you to talk like that. I understood.
Well, Lena's
but
just
like,
offended.
Why?
Lena's just offended.
No, I am offended.
Lena's
That,
just
like,
saying Aib.
Yeah, Aib عليك.
Aib. Ooh, shit.
I hear
Judge her
Rafik,
Arabic.
I'm calling at the gate. I'm gonna go get him.
I'm carried away. But it's AB. Mom, family, everyone's great. We love the whole family. Lebanon, when we insult people, for some reason.
Why didn't he include all of this in his video, Lena? Right? That's kind of weird. You're watching it now, but why wasn't it included in his
We
video?
get like the moms and the sisters involved right away, so
Probably gets a lot more views.
Retract that immediately. بس أي فيك أنت.
Yeah, you didn't include all of
Family,
this.
everyone's.
Aidafik Inta means my dick is in you. So he went to R-word me. Not in your mom and sister. Okay, thank you. God bless.
It's great. Fucking nothing but love to them.
If that was me, they'd be like, the title would be, AB said he's going to R-word me.
Why we need a button. You know what I mean? So literally, I'm blocked by the crew. You can't see me. But literally, as soon as I finished, I'm like, whoa! Why did I say that? Sorry, no, that was horrible. No. As like, oh, sorry, that was horrible. As soon as I said
pretty much mid-sentence, in the middle of the cursing, he corrected himself and took it back, and you still took it out.
I apologize and I take it back. I mean, we're live, folks. It's kind of hard to control some of these things. You know what I mean? It slipped out. I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to be inflammatory.
Imagine Ethan owning up to shit
Like and I said something that I didn't want to say about.
Yeah, imagine Ethan. There's a lot that Ethan could have, apologized for right after saying it, but not right after, and also not later.
AB's mom. But I right away, folks, I fucking apologized for it, and I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
Introverted underscore
then someone on the
just
H3 subreddit just cut out the first part where I cursed them. They cut out the apology.
Thank you.
Right away, you know what I mean? And then.
Obviously, that is what
an Israeli guy translated it. An Israeli person translated.
Wait, an Israeli guy misrepresented what you said to make you look bad?
Okay, so that is an example of someone doing the hasbara and misrepresenting what he said by making it look worse by, lying about what he actually said. Yeah, those people exist.
Is that what you're saying? Okay, let's
people.
Let's go back to here. So Millhouse.
Yeah, you did call that out, which is good.
After ABM live in the same one, make it seem 10 times more fucked up than it is. Again, Lebanese cursing, folks. You can't.
So let me do this. Let me try to understand this. He's saying that an Israeli misrepresented what he said to make him look. Am I
we know the point he's making is like, I called that out. Okay.
Following correctly? Haters in chat, am I following?
So it's weird for him to mention it because you called it out.
Following correctly, please correct me. Am I following it correct? He wasn't really saying he wanted to R-word my mom and sister. He's saying
but
in your audience. Okay.
It involve that misrepresenting.
Like that's all he can do, right? Like just zoom in on the stuff that is totally not significant.
I'm trying to make you look bad.
Things going on here. People are trying to frame it like you saying.
People is very. They're literally thinking I'm out here threatening to R-word people.
Crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? It makes me fucking loco in my head.
He's not allowed to call that out because you called it out?
It's wild.
Why didn't you leave his apology in the video?
It's crazy, isn't it?
If you don't want them to use that, why not include his apology?
Need that.
Maybe at least AB. I appreciate AB for clarifying. It's like in Arabic, it's a fucking word where you.
And
he's saying he appreciates you doing something good. Look at your reaction.
Wanted us to talk and said, give him some job, man. You're doing.
Is doing.
That's weird in my whole opinion. I did what he just said. I said the same thing.
Wow. He's not allowed to say, I appreciate that you called that out. This is AB's reaction when Anthony's saying, hey, I appreciate you calling that out.
His whole fucking point.
No, that's not the whole point. The statement, like AB claims that does he really not understand why the statement itself is bad? To say that they use him, they love them and love using him as an example of Arabs being barbaric. Do you think cursing is barbaric?
His whole point about it, Israeli misrepresenting him, was my fucking point!
Didn't include the apology?
I'm crashing out. I know. Just offended, really misrepresentation. I'm did what I go. I don't you guys specifically, but the fucking snark and all these people.
I'm gonna skip this.
He's the most perfect.
Thank
You.
What more?
He basically found something to put his teeth in, right? Like this is it. I'm going to just
fucking dunk. Let me thank you. Dunk said a Zionist will love to use you, but will love to
Zionists love to use you as an example of an Arab being barbaric.
use you to misrepresent us, to spread shit, to make it harder for me to defend defend you, to defend our cause. When you
You know that there is this thing that people say about black women, that they're very aggressive or something? Like, you know, there's this racist stereotype. Are there aggressive people? Yes, in all ethnicities. You find them everywhere. So that is kind of a messed up thing, right? When people, like, you know, like you probably know what I mean. So saying, it's similar to saying to a black person that is getting upset and cursing and saying, hey, white supremacists love to use you as an example of an angry black woman because a black woman got angry, which they're allowed to do, right? Why are they angry? Like, context matters.
Did I show the clip of you saying that you find the sound of innocent Israelis screaming? Did I use that?
You're referencing it now, and you're leaving out the context of what he said was he was, after so much bombing and so much killing, he was happy to see that they were being hit back and people were also running because that's what they're doing to other people. So are you going to include this part? Are you going to mention that here now? Or are you going to use this as an opportunity to just leave it at that,
In my video, was I trying to make you look like a
Mikey
barbaric Arab? Because
if you're only showing the clip of him cursing, not him apologizing, you are deliberately showing something that makes him look worse.
And
making it easier for people to use him as an example.
Resubscribed for 18 months. Lena just hugging.
It's a dumb statement.
Rocky on the other side of
being upset and yelling and cursing is not barbaric.
Thank you. I feel like I would use that fucking clip. Did I use that? No, I didn't.
You're now referencing it without providing any additional context.
Unreligion just gifted 5 subs.
Again, that people are going to use you. And you guys are.
This is just so stupid. I'm gonna skip this.
All night in here, donating. Well, thank you.
I wish her well. And the next time I say
people that I'm referring to when I'm talking about
all these unemployed losers telling you to quit.
Him being used by them. The whole reason of me defending him. That means that you are conditioned.
You could easily just not even show the clip and say, hey, there's a clip going around of Anthony from Do Not Worry cursing. People are misrepresenting what he said. Like, you could have done that, right? But you felt the need to show that clip and not leave the apology, and that came right after.
To think that I'm saying that they're honest.
It wasn't own. It was basically an argument against the guy, saying stop making it so easy for them to use you as an example of Arabs being barbaric. And you made it easier for them by not including the apology.
That's what that means. That's what Bad and Panada means when he says that shit. That's the only interpretation. Like, come on.
Bad and Panada is admittedly ignoring some context there as well, but it's still a dumb statement, and I'm more than capable of explaining why.
Like, are you like for real? Again, I'm fine with you criticizing me for where I work or me not saying enough. There are times myself where I'm disappointed in not saying more, and not because
Okay, so I kind of remember this part.
I'm not allowed to, but just because not being more educated on it.
So that's his excuse to not push back on protesters at the universities against the genocide. What are they going to do? Look at those privileged people. How dare they talk? I lived in Israel for 5 years. You don't have to be very educated, because Ethan and Hila don't seem to be that educated on the matter.
I'm really disappointed in myself for not being more educated on it.
Yeah, this is an easy out. You don't have to be that educated to realize that making fun of people donating to Palestinian charity is stupid. He made fun of that. You don't have to be educated to realize that donating to charity for Palestinians is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's not something to make fun of. You don't have to be a Middle East expert for that.
I wish I did when I was younger. I always fought for it.
You're like, it's too late?
But I didn't really know the talking points. I didn't...
The talking point is donating to charities for Palestinians that are experiencing a genocide is a good thing. Don't make fun of it. You need to get the talking points on how you can push back on something like that.
No, like how to phrase or you know what I mean, like. But like, dude, like, do I need like, the missing block in that statement is that you're saying that
his apology.
You're saying that Zionists are being honest about it, like which side are you on? I don't even know where I'm at anymore. Like, what's going on?
Which side are you on? Are you on the side of Zionists? Are you saying that to Anthony now? Interesting.
Good night, everyone. Proud of you. Oh, thank you.
So,
sure.
Let's just see what
in the world. Thank you. Like, I'm talking. There's no credit. I'm still like, he's surrounded by Mike from PA. He's surrounded by Bad and Panada.
He's snarking, man. I have to admit, I'm kind of tired of constantly referencing the messed up shit that Ethan has done. So I'm just going to reference that he has done messed up shit. I'm not going to list everything again because, seriously, it just makes this way too long. So, yeah, if you are not hearing me say what the messed up thing, like, you haven't watched this stream, right?
He's gassed up by the snark.
Or my other videos.
I still...
Gassed up by the snark. So, like, Bad Empanada has no valid criticism of Ethan and Ela. So, yeah.
I'm trying to give this guy fucking credit, but, bro.
It has valid criticism.
I'm talking... There's no way you see it that way. There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no way.
Valid
There's no way
criticism.
you're literally thinking that, like, I'm like, bro, we have to be better as Arabs. We have to be better.
Yeah, I kind of see why someone would think that. Do better. Stop giving them such an easy example, even though I disagree with the example. Yeah, you could see it as, hey, we as Arabs need to not curse. Yeah, you could see it like that. They love you as an example of Arabs being barbaric, and I will push against that narrative. But saying they love you as an example of Arabs being barbaric when it's not an example of an Arab being barbaric, because he's cursing and you know that.
Lucky Snake just
How
subscribed.
this is misinterpreted.
Do you know Eileen is alive right now? Do you know who saved her from the IDF bombing in 2006? The Hezbollah.
Ashoka Plays just subscribed.
Do you know what Ethan has said and claimed? The false claims Ethan has made?
Like, hey, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like, you guys aren't dealing with, like...
What you have experienced doesn't necessarily... is not a great counter argument for not pushing back on a podcast host saying really bad stuff.
I just don't understand, like, how he's twisting this, because it is twisted any other way. You're
this is just not interesting.
It's of a lot of the bombing in Beirut. And so we stayed with relative safe for.
I'm not gonna. Sorry, I get. And the video is gone or no? No. Okay, so he didn't take down the video, but like, I get sharing your story. I don't think it's relevant here. I don't think it's relevant.
To post.
For me, not. It's not.
Sit here and try to be Anne Frank like Ethan wants me to, and just be peaceful and just be nice. And hey, could you guys stop bombing us? Oh, it would be nice if the genocide would stop.
Or his argument is that
if you stop bombing Lebanon and destroying my country. No, if I see Arabs getting fucking butchered and then I see your boss,
Arabs, whatever,
your bosses, trying to
I think do not worry his argument is they want you. Shit.
I think Do Not Worry's argument is they want you to tell this kind of story on the podcast to counter the rhetoric instead of being in silence. Lebanon is getting pummeled by Israel. Okay, good comment. Is he going to actually read it?
They want you to tell this kind of story on the podcast to counter the rhetoric instead of
Genuine
being in silence.
question.
Yeah, push back.
As fam. If Badam Panda
is he going to react?
Finally decides
Lena heard him say that comment out loud, right? Is Lena going to react?
To shower. What soap and shampoo do you recommend for his stinky pits?
They're skipping it, right?
That's tough. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's tough.
Directly defend these
So hey, there's the valid criticism. Someone translated it for you to English. It's tough. So your response to valid criticism is it's tough. That's a good response. But you're not zooming in on that, right?
I don't know. I don't have any recs.
And make a whole bunch of Zionist talking points.
Yeah,
I think it's
true.
okay to be angry. It's like when you tell black people, don't be angry. You don't want to seem like an angry black.
I use the same example, and I agree with him. It is kind of similar to that. Let's see how AB responds.
Stereotypical angry.
Again, I can't believe this is the route they.
No, it is very similar. Yeah. Telling a black woman, hey, don't yell. They love to use you as an example of black women being very loud and rude and yelling, blah, blah, blah. I will push back against that narrative. But yeah, also the word barbaric is kind of a very specific word, right? You want to look up what the word barbaric really means? I need to smoke less, but I can't deal with this.
Is this the bad empanada narrative? Like, I swear these guys wait for one person to make an argument. They're like, okay, that kind of works, and they go with it. But is this seriously, you're trying to say I'm doing a candy show?
Let's see what someone says. Grand frequency. The problem is you have this energy against other Lebanese, but where is the energy when your boss spats Hasbara talking points? AB Star Killer, someone says. Is he going to respond to that?
Thing. For fucking... Literally, when you said that it's music to your ears hearing innocent Israelis die. I even said, I don't agree with you.
Wait. You're claiming he said it's music to his ears when innocent Israelis die? Let's go back.
Literally, when you said that it's music to your ears hearing innocent Israelis die.
All right, we probably need a receipt for that one, my dude. I don't think that's what he said. People screaming because there's incoming missiles and Israel is getting hit after leveling Gaza and leveling parts of Lebanon, killing his people, killing innocent people. For them to, for once, feel what it's like when bombs are dropping on their cities, even though all those bombs were not targeted at civilian buildings or anything, right?
I even said I don't.
So now you're claiming that he loved to hear Israelis scream that die?
I don't agree with you. I literally, when you said
literally, you said
that it's music to your ears hearing innocent Israelis die.
I'm gonna put this in a short probably because wow.
I even said I don't agree with you. I don't. But as a person who's actively
music in your ears when you hear innocent Israelis die. That's what you're putting on him now. Interesting.
Being bombed.
Lena is hearing that, not pushing back.
I don't think it's my place to speak up, even if it's wrong.
No pushing back, Lena, and portraying Anthony like a barbaric person that thinks it's music to his ears when he hears innocent Israelis die. Is that what he said, AB?
But again, you're acting like I'm like Arabs. This is your half white representative here. Be better. Be better.
It could be seen like that. Yeah, it could be seen like that. Don't give. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain it again.
When somebody said, let me scroll up. The problem is you have this energy against all other Lebanese. What are you talking about? I was so disappointed.
So that was a good comment, so right? So someone said you have like the way he is tackling everything that other Lebanese people have said about him, criticizing him. He's zooming in on like the cursing and like the non-relevant stuff and stuff like that, but very high energy. Like he loves doing it. He's like doing this act and sketches. Where is that energy when your boss is saying stuff that is really bad, right? So let's see how Lena defends this.
When I saw
It's
this.
not. Listen. I'm like David Dobrik. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. You know what I mean? Like my energy for Bad Emma Panda is very different than what it is for Millhouse.
You keep calling him Millhouse, which is very deliberate, right? You could just call him Anthony. So very immature.
Attacking Ab for working for someone you disagree with is like asking
It's not just disagreeing. They're doing more harm than good. There's valid criticism, so yeah.
every Arab/Muslim to quit their job if they work for Coca-Cola, Starbucks, or any other company on the...
No, it's not the same. It's a podcast. You're one of the people with a mic.
Boycott list. What will them jeopardizing their income do for the cause?
So this person probably agrees that AB and Lena are only capable of working for H3 and cannot find a different job, which is false.
Exactly.
Black men? Well, what?
Of course they agree.
What the fuck are black men out here to try to...
Through a million times, different ways to get to the same end goal. If I had one hero,
Glibby
one
Live
person
just subscribed.
Whose autobiography I've read a million times, who I think is like a real life hero who I've often praised, it's Malcolm X, who's...
Oh boy. Someone that praises Malcolm X. What would Malcolm X say about the genocide of Palestinians? And what would he say about people working for a podcast that is saying that donating to that charity, to charity for them, is bad, making fun of them, making fun of people that protest? So Malcolm X probably was in favor of people protesting stuff that is messed up, right? You're working for a podcast, you're one of the producers on that show, you have a mic, and they're saying all of that vile stuff.
Whose whole thing was by any means necessary.
The smallest amount of pushback is not an option.
But that doesn't mean that my way of going about things has to be that way. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to condemn
you're not Malcolm X.
anyone who goes about it in that way. There could be different mentalities.
Himself to Malcolm X.
Thank you for defending Israel. When the fuck did I ever defend Israel?
So someone saying thank you for defending for Israel. That is amazing. You know why that is amazing? Because yeah, that's your H3 podcast members. That's what they take out of it. So here, let me turn this around and reverse card you, AB. You're the perfect example of an Arab that people think is defending Israel. To show people like, hey, there are a lot of actually Arabs that are Muslim that defend Israel. So we're not doing anything bad really because he's defending Israel.
I mean, even if you're...
It's exactly the same thing, right?
Being sincere. I'll defend...
It's exactly the same thing, right? Like... You guys not pushing back, being part of a podcast, using lame defenses like we will end up on Skid Row, Lena will end up starving.
Innocent Israel.
She doesn't need that much
of course, but defending Israel or the...
Israelis, of course. He defends Israelis. Let's go back.
When the fuck did I ever defend Israel? I mean, even if you're being...
Thank you for defending Israelis, of course. That's basically what he's saying, right?
Sincere. I'll defend innocent Israelis, of course.
I'll defend innocent Israelis. What do you consider to be innocent Israelis? Are you talking about just civilians? Are you talking about people that have messed up views and are saying, hey, all these babies will grow up to be Arabs? Like, are you considering that an innocent Israeli?
Of course, but defending Israel or the...
The entity of Israel, but okay.
Actions of Israel, never.
What about the high percentage of people that agree with the genocide and don't think it's enough genocide and they want more genocide?
You'll never see it.
We defend those people
until Palestinians are given equal rights, real equal rights.
I'm here to fucking tell the truth, and if I'm angry about something, I want to be angry on the internet. Now, media is
slam dunk. Chat delay sucks, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because I commented before your comment came through. Chat, thanking you for defending Israel in the chat. Imagine how that happened, and what was my response? That chat.
The quote from Starkers is the okay. Stop with Anthony. I beg you to reconsider the position of your boss. You don't need a Zionist in your life. He fully relies on Zionists. I guess one of them doesn't consider themselves to be a Zionist. What they mean to say is you support a Jew. Stop supporting a Jew. So that's someone saying like Zionist is the same as Jew.
Chat delay sucks.
So someone in chat that is a fan of AB is saying that they're all anti-Semitic.
Doesn't
basically.
it? Doesn't it? Because I commented before your comment came through. That chat. Oh, what a mwah. Woo, Bobby. That's the second fucking slam dunk. If we had the second slam dunk of the night, that was it. Because his message went through. What's wrong with Israel? Should it not exist?
Oh, here we go. This is what you end up with. Yeah, dude. This is what you end up with. People defending Israel in your chat that are fans of yours, that are subscribers.
What's wrong with Israel? How much time you got? Well, mainly, let's just talk about the active genocide that's going on there. How about?
No, I mean, I guess you could talk about how we ended up there.
What that?
Like, going back.
Let's focus on that.
Okay, fine.
And even prior to that.
Of course.
The domino effect.
I mean, how long has it been?
Of their terror.
Yeah.
Like, is
Ila thinks it's an honor to serve in the IDF. Ila looks down on people that don't serve in the IDF. Ila went on raids in Ramallah in occupied territory. Has not said that that was a bad thing.
is the reason why even two of us are in America is because our parents were forced to come here because of the terror that was happening in Lebanon. Like,
and let's contrast this with Ethan that went on birthright, got married with his IDF assigned wife.
Genuine question, one state or two? I believe in one state. You see, this is how we can have a conversation. If you want to ask me how I feel, then go ahead. Don't phrase it in a way.
You are working for a podcast hosts that said that Palestinians will lynch Israelis as soon as they enter their streets.
Like, oh, what do you think about your boss? Ask me. Ask me. One state with equal rights for all people. Yeah.
Dude,
it was
Let me go back. Someone wrote a long comment here.
One state with equal rights for all people. Yeah.
Dude, you're on some kind of drugs law. I think he's drunk. Holy shit, I support you, but you need to approach this in a way different fashion. You are coming off as someone that just did a line in the bathroom and came back.
No, it was a good response, Habibi, but how did it get to the point of them thanking you? Allow me to answer. Oh, thank you for the tip, 420. Thank you. I'll tell you how, because that person is, I'll bet you my...
Someone donated, he thanked the donation. Did he read the donation? Let me read it for you if he's not doing it. It's so hard to not criticize Ethan when the few times the Palestinian suffering is brought up is when the show dedicates an entire segment when they are protesting against Hamas. What?
My left nut, and that's my favorite nut. That's a bad empanada fan right there. That's...
So the person saying thank you for defending Israel is a bad empanada fan. That doesn't sound legit.
That, like, literally, I never got thanked for defending Israel until this fucking baboon. I don't even know what fucking nationality fucking bad empanada is. He said all empanadas are baboons. Until that fucking dumbass started shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they do. They harass, they set up the shit. That, please.
If I'm angry,
it literally said that I don't want to judge you. People around, do not come through. When I could not think of a defense. Again, I'm not saying one way or another if it was, but I argued that I do not believe it is anti-Semitic.
Let's go back.
Did I think that the tier list?
Oh, okay. So you're going to say it's not anti-Semitic? Okay. Okay.
Was anti-Semitic.
Hmm.
When they came up.
Interesting.
And let me preface this by saying I'm not going to say if I think it's anti-Semitic or not.
Oh, he's not willing to say it. Oh my God, he's not willing to say it. He's covering for himself just in case his boss sees this. Fascinating. I love this stream. I'm loving it.
Because I'm not going to be used one way or another.
Yeah, I don't want Ethan to find out that I said it's not anti-Semitic, even though it's not anti-Semitic. What is Denham's doing in the after? There's a Jew on the panel, an Arab Jew, right? That he got banned as well for being on an anti-Semitic tier list, right? So here you go. Not willing to, not willing to push back even on your own stream.
Against people around me. But I'll say this, and listen to me. When this gets clipped, listen to me very clearly. When it came up, I argued that I do not believe it is anti-Semitic.
I'm not saying it's anti-Semitic or not. You preface this by saying I'm not saying it if it is or not. But when I argued that it was not. Lena, your husband is quite stupid. Are you really this low IQ? Do you really not see how stupid this is? To say I'm not going to say if it's anti. So now you need to argue that something has happened or anything. Like if you claimed at that point, argued that it was not anti-Semitic, what information were you missing that might have changed your mind? There's nothing, right? So you kind of owned yourself here. You're like, you know what you're doing here? What was it? The eat the cake too or something? This is an example of that. I want to say that I think that it's not anti-Semitic, but I can defend myself towards Ethan by saying I'm not saying that it's anti-Semitic or not. But I argued initially that it was not anti-Semitic. When we all know that there is no additional information about the panel, it was an event that happened. So you had all the information and you argued that it was not anti-Semitic. But you're too afraid to even say that. You got owned. You just owned yourself. This is why you shouldn't do a drunk stream, AB.
Argued that. I had a back and forth about that. But when the thumbnail came through, when I could not think of a defense. Again, I'm not...
He's talking about the thumbnail that Frogan used, one of the panel people, where she put Ben Shapiro also in the F tier. That was used, I guess, as evidence, while realizing that on the actual F tier was Denham's. So you forgot that Denham's was in the F tier as well? Interesting.
I'm not saying one way or another if it was.
So the fact that happened proved that it was actually anti-Semitic. Wow.
I'm just saying that...
The thumbnail proved that it was anti-Semitic.
Once the thumbnail came through, I was left with my ass out and not knowing how I could defend it at that point.
Wow. Frogan, one of the people on the panel, not all of them, Frogan, made a thumbnail where she added Ben Shabibu to the F tier, which someone Ethan hates as well. You couldn't defend it by saying, hey, that's just one of the people on the panel. It's not necessarily a representation of the panel, of the entire panel and what the idea behind the panel was. She shouldn't have done that because, yeah, now you can use that. But to be very honest, it is still not anti-Semitic. The fact that she added Ben Shapiro to the F tier doesn't automatically make it anti-Semitic, because there's a video behind that thumbnail, right?
That's what I'm gonna say.
So all it took for you was for Frogan to add Ben Shapiro to the F tier, and then you're like, okay, yeah, the panel is anti-Semitic, and I'm not going to push back. And go ahead, Ethan, deplatform all of them. Wow. Wow.
Give me a defense. So, yeah.
We're allowed to be angry and we're allowed to yell and we're allowed to...
Someone says thumbnail wasn't anti-Semitic, which is true. But that is what AB now is claiming because there was no defense.
Scream and we're allowed to curse.
Well, someone said thumbnail wasn't anti-Semitic.
Okay, let's go. Okay. Lena, why don't you explain how the thumbnail was anti-Semitic? Got him.
Listen, if y'all got a defense for it, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll use it. Give me.
So now he's just saying I'm kind of too stupid to come up with a defense. Sorry. This is really dumb.
Give me a defense. Give me a defense and I'll use it.
Without being called barbarians. What do you guys think about this whole thing?
So disappointing. Like,
that's the only thing you got, right, Lena?
What I'm saying, this is my initial, this was my problem. This is why I brought up Milhouse.
It's very deliberate to just keep calling him Milhouse. Just call him Anthony. You know, people hate him for bad reasons. You know, people are being, even Lena said like, hey, you guys are being a bit too mean towards the podcast people. But you just keep on calling him Milhouse, something that is not that hurtful, but like it's kind of lame and childish, and you keep on doing it, showing that you don't really respect the guy.
I'm saying that you guys are making it fucking hard for me, dude. You're making it hard for me to defend. If you think that our audience...
It's kind of similar to the thumbnail. So all you need to give them... So here's what jumps out. All AB needed to not push back on the tier list being anti-Semitic, which it wasn't, was a thumbnail from Frogan where she added Ben Shapiro to the F tier. That was enough for AB to say, you know what, I can't defend that, which basically means that you agree that it's anti-Semitic. So the entire tier list is now anti-Semitic because of that thumbnail. You're using the same type of defense now regarding Anthony and saying, well, you're making it very difficult for me to convince people that you're not barbaric. Fascinating.
Leaning pro-Israel. You're making it fucking hard for me. Not saying you have to be perfect Arab, but I mean when I defend you and defend these things, you guys are making it very fucking hard. The Snark was an idiot for using for years, and then you just continued to found and don't forget I'm getting shit on all sides for doing this.
There's a genocide going on. You're part of a podcast that is doing more harm for the Palestinians than doing good, for the reasons I've mentioned multiple times now. There's a side saying, hey, get in line. Just nod in agreement with everything that Ethan says. All the critique towards Ethan is not valid. And there's a side saying, actually, what he's doing is messed up, which you probably agree with, but then you're using as a defense, like the smallest thing you can grab. God, I get why people don't like you guys. And not just you, but also Lena. I get it.
Still trying to defend you.
I get it. I'm starting to get why Anthony is so upset, because he can see how you're deflecting.
My fellow Arabs.
I'm not an Arab, but I get why Arabs might probably not like you guys, a lot of them. Unless they kind of don't like the Palestinians, that I get. Those people exist. Get in line, dude.
Of Lebanese people.
No, did we say...
Arabs look more barbaric than we're supposed to be?
No, I say fuck being the perfect victim. And fuck being silent to fuck you,
pause it. No, did we say that? Or did people take you out of context and say that?
Why didn't he include the apology in the video, Lena?
And that's exactly...
If he doesn't want to make it easy for them to use him as an example of Arabs being barbaric. Who brought up the entire idea of Arabs being barbaric? Who was talking about that? Why did he have to use the term barbaric here? Bad people, he could have used a different term. It's kind of messed up to use the term barbaric.
What AB was referring to. He said this is what...
There's zero reflection.
People will do, and that's exactly what they did. Not us.
Why didn't he include the apology?
Not us.
Why didn't he include the apology? Why did he feel a need to show the clip again of him cursing and being very upset when he is upset that people are using that against Anthony? Why not just reference it and say, hey, there's a clip going around of you cursing? Lena, why not mention the fact that Anthony apologized? Not including it is one thing. Deciding to show the clip is 1. 2 is not including the apology. 3 is not mentioning that he immediately apologized. Explain those 3 things, Lena.
Other people.
Don't yell at her. I love her so much.
Not her. Him, Anthony.
Okay, she's so sweet.
He loves Noor, but he thinks Corinne is the devil. What do you think Noor thinks of you?
Look, what do you mean? So how do you
What do you think Noor thinks of you when you call Corinne the devil multiple times?
take it? What other way is...
You're like showing her love and like only showing hatred towards the other person?
For her to take it.
Actually being killed.
Really
months.
By killing. Look, how does
it... Wait. I think what...
Look.
Wait, what language do you want this in? I don't think you're barbaric. I don't think you have to act a certain way.
Yeah. Based on that video, it does feel like you think that Arabs should not curse because it makes it very easy for Zionists to use them as an example of Arabs being barbaric. So yeah.
I think what the IDF is doing is barbaric. It has...
You use the word barbaric, dude. You use the word barbaric in reference to Anthony and the fact that he was cursing. Sure, you used a couple of other words as well. You're the one that introduced the word barbaric here in regards to his statements and cursing. You decided to include the clip. Make it easier for them to reuse the clip. You decided to leave out the apology part. And you decided to not mention the apology part.
Has been barbaric. It will continue.
You're making it very easy for them to use you as an example then, right? You're like making it even easier.
To be barbaric. I want the best for you. I don't want the best for the IDF.
Mm-hmm.
I want Palestine to be free. There's no...
You're working for a podcast that says donating to Palestinian charities is lame and makes fun of them.
Nuance with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my people. Like, I guess you could say the nuance is that I don't want innocent Israel. I do believe there are innocent Israelis. I think it's crazy for people to say there's not.
Who is saying that? Is that person in the room with you?
That is it. That is the...
Who do you consider innocent? What do you think of the people that think that all Palestinians should be killed?
Extent of my nuance. I don't think civilians should but that's
Luis 9,000.
Okay.
466 just subscribe.
I do believe that he's uneducated in this area, in general, but also in this area. I do believe that.
What else?
So you weren't willing to call out the fact that they mislabeled the tier list as anti-Semitic? You tried to kind of say it, but then you said the one thumbnail. That was the one thumbnail that Frogan used. Ben Shapiro being added to the F tier. That was the evidence for you that you couldn't push back against it being anti-Semitic anymore. Now it's anti-Semitic. The entire panel, the tier list, everything, everyone that worked on that thing. Okay. Interesting. Did they know about that panel, AB? Like the thumbnail came out later, right? Like the people on that panel did not influence Frogan in any way with the thumbnail, right? So Ethan claimed that the entire tier list and everything was anti-Semitic. And you're saying that Frogan's thumbnail, I wish you were more specific here, but I'm assuming you're referring to Frogan's thumbnail because that was used by Mutahar as well to claim that it was an anti-Semitic tier list. Did the panel influence her in any way? Tell her, hey, you should add Ben Shabibu to the F tier? Probably not. Did they see the thumbnail before joining the panel? Like, no, because that video was uploaded later or it was on the stream, but they're not checking her stream or thumbnail or whatever. So you're using one thing that someone did after the fact as a reason to not be able to defend the tier list not being anti-Semitic, and then allowing your boss to just label them as anti-Semites, the entire tier list being anti-Semitic, and getting them banned for 30 days. Wow.
What else? You guys got any questions for me? think you're not gonna stop Hamas by blowing up fucking hospitals and blowing fucking innocent.
Ethan said that they're building tunnels under hospitals, which is used as an excuse to bomb the hospitals.
People indiscriminately. That's not how you stop Hamas. That's all you're doing is creating the future generation of Hamas, or whatever you want to call it. If you want to stop it, the hands are in the oppressor, not the oppressed.
The IDF, Hila is proud of to have served for, raided a house in Ramallah. Nightly raids. Every night they were doing raids. I will try to get out if the second job is boring, and she didn't think it was boring. She loved staying at the base in occupied territory, going home during the weekends, being the secretary of the brigade boss, getting an Israel tattoo when the genocide is ongoing, and then you jumping on the hate wagon towards that Instagram user that was a fan, long-time fan of H3, that said, you guys go to hell. And he labeled that as anti-Semitic. You didn't push back against that either. Well, probably you know it's not anti-Semitic to tell people to go to hell just because they're Jewish. Interesting. When that person didn't want to collaborate with Hila and her brand because probably of stuff that she said, but he or she didn't actually mention it. Just said, hey, appreciate you reaching out, but I don't want to be associated with that brand. That person was labeled as an anti-Semite. You didn't push back on that either, right? But you know that there was nothing anti-Semitic in that statement. The only way you can defend not speaking up at that point is when you think that that person is being anti-Semitic by just saying, I don't want to work with Hila. Interesting.
But it's also like...
It's a reason why people think your guys are complicit, and I agree with them.
You said a very generic insult. Like, I say all the time, and I don't have a penis. Like, it's just... You're insulting the person.
Evidently these haters are coming after you because you are so gorgeous and handsome. They will keep moving the goal line.
Why even take it back at all then? Because obviously...
I'll do you one.
She can disagree with Anthony, right? Like, Anthony thinks he shouldn't have said that, and Karen is like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you guys.
Better. She's making the same fucking point I made. I said it and I had it in text, on text, and the...
No, she's not making the same point. She's saying that, who cares, dude? Grow up. Grow some balls.
Read it said. It's generated. Whose side are you on?
Yeah.
But like, what is she arguing?
What is she arguing? Dude is drunk. Yeah, she's basically telling you, fuck you both. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. That's what she's saying. And you guys don't get it.
What are you arguing? I said...
She's arguing, fuck you guys. You are complicit. Fuck you guys.
I said this.
That I made when these...
Yeah.
And it's just really dumb to, like, create a whole narrative around that. Sorry.
Now he's going to say, I'm actually fighting the narrative. You're the one that used the statement with barbaric.
They're also talking about the comments that I made when the Israelis were like running for their lives on Iraq.
Yeah, AB. Okay, interesting. This will be interesting because AB just made the claim that you enjoyed hearing the sound of Israelis dying. Let's see.
Iran was attacking them with that drone attack. Like they think that made me look like a crazy barbarian. Like again, I'm sorry for having a natural reaction as an Arab living here who has witnessed the genocide, and then when I see Israelis getting a tiny taste of their own medicine, and again where no civilians were killed by that attack.
AB just said that Anthony loved hearing innocent Israelis die.
It was a very just for show attack by Iran.
You
just
guys
to
are
like
eating,
prove
chewing, and swallowing. Love you. Thank you.
Point that like, yo, you can't attack us without being retaliated.
Wow, that's not what he said, is it?
Retaliated against. Yeah, was my reaction maybe a little bit overboard for America?
I'm sorry, but if you have watched AB for the last 2 years, even before, AB said that shit many times without having to yell about it. And again, guys, like, I don't know. Clear. Like, I don't have a Zionist boss. Do you think that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think my friends in Dearborn, Arabs, do you think they don't, some of them don't have a Zionist boss?
Okay, so now he's saying there are other Arabs that have Zionist bosses on a podcast. Like there is a difference between a podcast and like someone working in a big company where the CEO The question is the CEO doing harm or doing good? Neutral. If they're Zionist and they're not doing anything with it. Are you comparing that to your situation? Where they're actively doing harm?
Do you think that? Emailing every day to get me to buy. Go ahead. I'll say.
Well, okay,
I'll say
but some
by
people
name.
are gonna be like, but you're on something that's like broadcasted.
Oh, Lena gets it.
And
Lena gets that at least. AB does not.
I'm in a rare position that people are emailing every day to get my position.
So now AB is using as a defense towards what Lena just said. He's saying people are trying to get my position. Like lots of people want my job. So that's my excuse. So yeah, that counters the point about this podcast actively doing harm. And you're talking about Arabs working for a Zionist boss that you haven't mentioned if that Zionist boss is doing any harm. If they're neutral, it's not a comparison.
I'm in a super. I got super lucky with this opportunity that I moved cross country for that isn't transferable.
The more I watch it, the more I realize it's really. I'm going to say it. It's a low IQ thing, and they both are relatively low IQ. I do think that Lena is probably a little bit smarter than AB. I have to admit, but it's crazy how dumb AB is. It's really crazy.
That I can't just go work next.
Zionists love to use you as an example of how dumb some Arabs are. Like it's kind of.
at another one.
Come on, dude.
yeah. Also, okay, somebody in chat said, Yane, I don't know, growing up, gesechtig would result in some violence. Yeah. So we're saying it's more casual. It's not interpreted literally, but at the same time, no, you don't say like, I want to say a friend to a friend, even if we're like
trying to argue
the beginning.
Understand the concept.
I think Rivers, out of respect.
What am I
even talking about this? Even though he prefaced it by saying exactly what the fuck I said.
His name was
in the South End.
Their dad named him that for a reason. It's her legal name.
I'm gonna turn off TTS.
Not more Americanized. He's out in LA.
Let's keep going.
Literally different facial hair, and I'm skinny.
Let's keep
5
going.
years of.
I'm not going. I can't watch 8 hours of this. I just can't.
He was being mean. He was accusing you of calling him barbaric.
That was so 20 seconds ago, Lena.
3 hours ago.
Whoa, hold on.
Let's go.
I appreciate that.
Down in this whole situation, but try to fucking back you up and try to let the audience that has abandoned you to try to give you the benefit.
Someone is saying, I understand what Anthony's saying right now. Yeah, maybe if you're watching an entire stream, people can actually follow his logic.
Of the doubt, bro. Literally, it's just us defending you.
I appreciate that. I know you're being, but I don't want these people in my audience. I'm sorry. I don't want to ever have to, like you're saying. That's oh my god. I just thought of another layer to this. You're saying
every time he thinks he found something, it's just.
I need to be perfect. Like I want you to be perfect.
Oh god. Don't do this. Because you're used as an example, it's very easy for them to use you as an example of an Arab being barbaric. Even though I don't agree this is an indication of you being barbaric, I did choose to use the word barbaric in this statement. Blah, blah, blah.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah. You're telling him to do better because this is being used by a Zionist. Yeah.
Hold on, this may be the third dunk of the night. Let me try to form this in my head. Think that way because fuck what people say. But you're trying to appease an audience who wants me to be perfect.
You're trying to appease an audience that wants me. Nobody wants you to be perfect. They want you to have a spine, both of you.
Wants me to be their perfect Arab.
But is that what they're? God,
it's not necessarily perfect. He said bare minimum, but at the same time, he's saying.
But I'm saying,
like Lena is smarter than I.
They want me to be perfect. They want to be perfect.
No, he said he doesn't want.
Oh wow, we're
you
hearing
to be
actual
perfect.
pushback.
He just wants you to do the bare minimum.
I know he's saying. I know that, but I'm saying though over.
Oh yeah, so Anthony said he's claiming that Anthony thinks and everyone thinks that he needs to be perfect, and that's not what Anthony said. So she's making it clear So she's pushing back and saying you're putting words in his mouth that are not there. Don't do that.
Overall, he's telling me that he wants me to oppose, like he wants me to appease the people on Snark who want me to do everything. They want me to be perfect.
That's not what he said.
Yeah.
They want me to be.
No, that's not what he said.
To do things how they think it should be done.
Yeah, but he wants.
No, Anthony does not care about the Snark.
Smoke for your boss. Have smoke.
Let's listen.
Yeah.
Let's
Take a
listen.
stand where it counts on the H3 podcast. I don't care if you come for me, man, and you have smoke for me. Have smoke for your boss. Have smoke for Ela and Ethan, because that's who you're looking at. And that's why you look bad in front of everyone, man, right now. Like,
true.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why everyone is kind of disappointed in you.
Yep. People expect you to do the bare minimum, which you are not doing. Okay.
No one gives a shit that you're coming after me right now. Maybe it's making.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. This is all stuff on the side. It's not about this.
You feel better, but.
Yeah. You're zooming in on stuff that is insignificant.
What if I fuck?
Again, I'm not coming after you. I'm responding to you. And again, I'll reemphasize the only reason.
You're not really responding to the critique. And every time you do respond to the critique, you're doing a self-own. The thumbnail that Frogan used is evidence that the entire tier list and panel, everything was set up as an anti-Semitic thing. Wow.
The reason that I even cared to respond to you is because your opinion was the only one I cared about. Because I know you live in Lebanon. And I know
it's just us defending you. That's done in this whole situation, but try to fucking back you up and try to let the audience that has abandoned you to try to give you the benefit of the doubt, bro. Literally, it's just us defending you.
Yeah, Ethan is the one like Anthony has been quite charitable towards you guys, like even up till now, even though he cursed and blah blah blah. It's up and down, but like the worse Ethan and Ela get, especially Ethan, the more upset he is with you guys not really pushing back. So yeah. He is being a lot more charitable than like the Snark, as you call it.
I appreciate that. Oh my God, he's thought of another, but I don't want, like, I want, but
at the same time, he's saying.
But no, but I'm saying.
So he's saying, Lena agrees to something that is the opposite of what Anthony said, right? He is the one that was actually very charitable towards them, even though Snark was not. And he's now saying he's listening to Snark.
But they want me to be perfect. They want me to be perfect.
No, he said he doesn't want you to be perfect. He just wants you to do the bare minimum.
I know that, but I'm saying though, overall, he's telling me that he wants me to oppose, like he wants me to appease the people on Snark who want me to do everything. They want me to be perfect. Yeah. They want me to be a better Arab.
To do things how they think it should be done.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
But which means be a better Arab.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself and for your people, but
And he's saying, I'm giving you a chance to be a better Arab to these people who want you to be a better Arab.
I'll give you a chance.
That is the third dunk.
I'm giving you a chance to be. No, he's criticizing you. And he's saying, do the bare minimum.
It may take some time, because it took me time. It took me time to...
Sorry,
wow.
What is this?
W's for all the positive people in chat. I see you, I know what you're doing.
Has there been a moment when I was like, yes, AB, go AB? Was there a moment I said that?
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Irony upon irony. Like... The whole thing is like, this is the best they could come up with. When I'm defending him in the first place, I'm like, people...
It's the same point over and over again.
Like, most common word used...
We have to skip this part because it's really bad. There's nothing. It's just, yeah, I was defending you. There's valid criticism. I'm also doing this. Really? So this reminds me of Ethan making that video and said, we're all Americans and blah, blah, blah. Realizing what all the messed up stuff is that the US has done and also providing the bombs. Still happening, dude. You're doing an American salute flag.
It's too loud for people. Hold on. I don't know my dad. Sorry.
Wait a step.
Thank you.
Now,
you know why? You know.
It's just a child, man. They're being criticized for being part of a podcast that is doing more harm for the Palestinians during a genocide than good. This is how they deal with the critique.
Literally, like that. Like how? There's no way people believe that. There's no way.
It's still the same thing. Still the same thing.
Resist. I'm getting confused with the narrative week to week. I'm getting confused. How do we?
It's really stupid.
Just subscribe.
You gotta run. You got.
He really took like 8 hours to respond to one video.
Marina Nimis, the legend, sent $5 and said, "Welcome back to Lebanon, Anthony, and welcome back,
so
Noor and
that's
Karim.
2 hours.
Also, I feel an awkward vibe from AB.
Ego and idiocy for introducing me. Cheers.
What?
Oh, on the.
While these people are saying they're disappointed in me when I'm Arab and I should be saying more, and they're calling me out, but at least he didn't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know all this content. I don't know shit. I've only said.
Hassan.
I will speak slower, and I will ask you directly. What do you need clarification on? What do you want me to say?
So the tier list was anti-Semitic because of Frogan's thumbnail. Okay. Yeah. All the other stuff.
In good faith.
These people.
How would you react? Referring to Anthony.
Let me see.
Daughter, what's going on here, daughter? What's going on?
What is someone writing?
Referring to Anthony as Milhouse is disrespectful.
It is. Continuously doing it. It's showing that you really don't respect him.
I feel like calling him Milhouse is rude and petty doesn't require him to earn
It is
anything. To treat him with basic dignity and not actively call him a Simpsons character.
Yeah. After a while, it's not funny anymore. But this could be a low IQ thing because he wants to be funny to compensate for the fact that he's very stupid.
Daughter, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying?
Let's see. The worst part of all this shit is bad faith actors are being toxic to you. Bad faith, yeah. Hassan is bad faith. Denims is bad faith. Frogan. Like everyone that's actually in the mix are being kind to you. No clarification. The problem is you focus on bad faith stuff, like people calling you pro-Israel, instead of understanding people really have a hard time seeing you in show that actively does Hasbara. Good point from Grand Frequency.
How would you react?
Someone else says AB was equated to an animal, a lapdog, proving that person's
Someone saying fuck you to you.
How?
Bro, he looks like Milhouse. It ain't that deep. Okay.
How would you? I'm defending. Like, what are we like dude? Like, are you seriously?
At this point, wouldn't it better to talk to each other? Yeah, he's not doing that because he
arguing
can't
about
win
stuff
that.
like this. Why was? What the fuck do I?
Someone says it is sorry. You can be better than him. I don't think AB can be better than Anthony. To be really honest, I think he's already too complicit.
Oh him. What the fuck you are calling him by his name?
And being nice. That's.
Let's see. Lena defends him, calling him.
I owe him nothing.
Let's see.
We tried that route.
We tried the route of just calling him Anthony and not calling him.
Tried like.
Yeah, not really. No, you didn't really respond to the critique in a mature way, or not at all.
Defending him, being nice.
He's criticizing your role in the podcast that is doing harm.
That's clearly not what they want.
Wow.
She's extremely passionate. Read her chats. No, I know, daughter. I know, but your past. I don't feel like I have the authority to ruin that meme. The one that said it.
I don't have the authority to. So his defense for calling him Milhouse constantly when it's not funny anymore is I don't have the authority to ruin that meme. No pushback from Lena.
Was about they're trying to having the there again
when Lonerbox was on, right?
Fucking
yeah. So you got Lonerbox on. Did you really push back on Lonerbox?
Defender, bro. So the fact that.
And you were rooting me on last time I said something.
Yeah, you pushed back a little bit against Lonerbox.
When Lonerbox was on, right? And then look what happened.
Yeah, and then you didn't do anything anymore for a long time. Yeah.
And how much did I?
And they got people deplatformed and yeah.
Say this time.
And someone says fuck Loner cock.
Nada.
Chat.
Nada.
Lonerbox is
no...
great. And then someone says, Lonerbox seems aight to me. One of the, based on the color and the emoji or something next to their name, they're a subscriber, a member of his stream.
Appeasing you people. I'm glad you brought that up. That's such a perfect...
Every episode is trauma dumping and Hasbara, and you are there for it. Sorry if that rubs people the wrong way. From a viewer perspective, you get silence every time you speak up. True. You got buttoned. Yeah, that's true. Is he going to respond?
Last time I said something, you were cheering me on, and then the next episode you
just
fucking hate me.
Yeah, for not calling people.
Next episode.
Khalas, bro. You can say this to yourself to make yourself feel better. I don't care what you tell yourself so that you can sleep at night. But like everybody.
Yeah, I know what he's telling himself. Everyone is out there to get my job. So yeah, I mean, everyone is. If I do anything wrong, they'll just replace me that easily. It's so easy to replace me because yeah, I don't actually have any added value really. So they can easily replace me. So I need to be on my toes and not say anything bad towards Ethan and Ela. I need to respect my lords. You will say you traveled all the way there to work on this podcast, like you've moved house to this 4,200 per month apartment. You gave a tour of this, right? In the middle of getting critiqued. I did all of this to get this job. I will end up skid row. Lena will starve. Yeah, that's how you. That's the stuff that you will say to yourself. Probably even more stuff because that's what we hear. To be able to sleep at night.
Nobody knows what the fuck you're doing, bro.
Okay, let's see. Do y'all want your creators to be better? To be honest, I do. And it is disappointing to see you play into name calling, even though this guy wasn't asked to you. It is called being a better person. We learned it as children. Yeah.
Bro, you've lost
something. Your audience is clearly all from the snark, right? I wrote
dumb statement.
On his profile.
Dumb statement. Dude, you're centering H3 for everything now. Like, your audience is all snark. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, I have to control my anger here as well. Get the fuck out of here. Do you really think everyone is snark? He has a Lebanese podcast. It was mostly Lebanese people watching the podcast. And then a lot of H3 people started following him as well. But to claim that his entire audience is snark when you know it's a Lebanese podcast that was Lebanese-focused content initially.
Palestine, right?
Until Ethan went unhinged.
They showed.
So you're making dumb statements during the stream as well, right?
Arrested.
And it is jumping out that you're not actually engaging with messages in the chat that are really good. You know, at this point, all the chat, the Zionist, you monitor it. Shit, this whole sub tried to get me to myself for a week after I pissed Destiny off like 3 years ago.
That's what he says.
Oh, he says that?
Yeah. Do on your own.
Grand frequency sets in the
Lonerbox is so one of his paid members is saying Lonerbox is literally just an educated person who understands the nuance of sniping, right? Like, you really think they sniped those kids in the head, which they did? You think that was like, you know, people had difficulties?
Respond to them. Okay, hold on. This is the guy that I said
You aren't convincing them of anything except that you are a Zionist too. No, we don't have to think that he is a Zionist. But the podcast is doing more harm than good, and he's complicit.
Slow down from. No, which could be understandable if you're afraid of repercussions, but you don't say this. Well, I don't. Wait, you want me to? Wait. So you want me to say like it would be okay if I said I was afraid of being fired? That's why.
Yeah.
You want me to say I was afraid of being fired?
Yeah, why not be honest?
And what reality would I do that? Even if it was true.
So you're saying like it is true. That is probably very, very true. It's the most truest thing that you have said during this entire stream. Why would I say that? Why would I acknowledge that? Well, you've put yourself in that corner, my dude, where that is the truth, but you can't say it. Yeah, but you put yourself in the corner where you can't speak the truth.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, who's not being honest? Who's just trying to get a clip?
He's constantly just worried that people will use something against him by showing it to Ethan and Ela. You're locked in, my dude. You're both locked in and complicit. Enjoy your $4,200 per month apartment. Better than Skid Row, right? Where you will end up if you don't bend the knee.
Thank my audience now is amazing. The three. Like they won the World Cup, yeah.
Someone made a good chat here.
You're out there fucking sending Ethan and Hila fucking research that...
It's just a toxic workplace. There's such a weird imbalance with few boundaries. Yeah, true. The assumption is that anyone ever thought Ethan was perfect need to meet someone who felt that way. Nobody's saying Ethan has to be perfect, so don't comment
fucking
there.
Makes pro-Palestinian...
Dude, Ethan has spent the last year yelling about pro-Palestinian creators and doing Hasbara. Why can't you see why people feel this way? Yeah, inconvenience. They're subscribers. They pay to be part of your chat, so you're not banning them, right?
People look like crazy
how I got banned within 5 minutes.
Semites.
In both Twitch and YouTube.
Bro.
But do not try to make up...
Chris Kunzler's in the chat, friend of the show. Chris.
Not responding to the comments, huh?
He's
not responding. Not responding to those comments. You're ignoring the comments, my dude. It's clear.
You don't know why.
I've read quite a few comments. I've read quite a few comments that make it clear that you're ignoring good comments in your chat. It's messed up.
We gotta go.
Roller coaster.
What else? AB, ask this. I asked this in good faith to gain understanding. Do you support the campus protest movement across the country? And if so, what do you do? What do you think is the difference between that pressure and the pressure you directed at H3 and yourself? What do you think is the difference between that pressure and the pressure directed at H3 and yourself? They're protesting a genocide. You're comparing the pressure on them for being complicit in doing more harm towards the Palestinian cause when there is a genocide ongoing. You're like, what? Someone is saying, please address my comment. Keep hatred playing victim, bro, someone says.
With something positive. Again, I'm so...
After 5 hours of lying, AB takes Ethan to the back and quietly explains to him why he's wrong. No, he does not.
Proud of Lena. I'm so proud of my wife.
No, he does not.
I'm so proud.
Because he is afraid that he will get fired.
Time to cave. So I surprised her with...
They're just abusive and don't actually respect intellectual differences. Intellectual differences.
This past week after her announcing that she's...
we're gonna watch this.
My only question is why the fuck is the dork obsessed with AB? He's a huge former H3 fan, created a Lebanese podcast like H3, kind of H3 themed, bought Teddy Fresh clothing, was looking up to...
Because it's important.
Go somewhere
and she's gonna remember...
Like that. Look, he's on my...
Her out of Creator Clash. What a great souvenir. Wait, Chris Kunzler
No, don't taint my relationship with my baby like that. Look, he's on my lap right now. He's so...
I'm just going to skip this. I will edit this video. I do think it's going to be a good video if I cut all the bullshit out, but it's their bullshit.
You've been to Lebanon, but if you get some shawarmas, get some kebabs, get all the food that you love, Lebanese, Chris.
I feel like, and here's the reason I...
Yeah, he was like talking to someone. Let's see. Let's go back a little bit.
Chris is gonna get some great Israeli, show you around, have some fun.
Right,
I'm sure he might have already been to Lebanon, but if...
And I said hi in chat, and like we had all the same chatters, and it was so much fun.
I would love to show you around, whatever you want. I want to come and give you the Lebanese habib.
Chris, yeah. White dude's just ready.
Thank you, Bella.
True.
To dispel Ethan's and like Chris is actually fucking educated.
Chris Kunzler, the guy has a master's degree in Middle East and blah blah blah, so he's very educated. Not the case for Lonerbox, which your paid members think, right? You're not pushing back against that because Lonerbox is not actually educated on the stuff based on what the shit that he has been saying. Also, Lonerbox does not think it's a genocide, so Lonerbox disagrees with Ethan on that one. So Chris is a good guy. He had really good videos where he's really sharing a lot of good, valid criticism towards not AB and Lena, not the complicit people, but like to Ethan and Hila. So yeah, and you see him being cool with that guy. He's a cool guy, makes good videos, but that guy is probably not down with you guys, right?
Folks. Chris, I saw a photo of him.
You can ask him. You can ask Ethan to get Chris on the podcast.
With the fucking pal.
Hey, so for white dudes just ready.
Let's see.
May I just tell you, you're an honorary Arab, Chris. Okay, you're an honorary Lebanese man.
So they're making a joke with the Habibi pass because the tier list was not anti-Semitic or racist in any way, but you disagree on that, right? Because of a thumbnail of Rogan used. Good on there, right, AB? So they're saying, hey, we respect you. Come over. Come here to Lebanon.
This guy has all these passes for white dudes just ready.
Is Chris just a random white dude? Did you see his videos where he's calling out the genocide? Countering stuff that Ethan Hila have said? He has a master's degree here about that stuff. He was very popular on TikTok, made a lot of videos on TikTok, has a lot of followers there. Chris makes good content.
And the ability to revoke.
Oh yeah, he took mine.
Love you both.
He repossessed
and
mine.
Rocky
He's
too.
passing it out to Mike from PA. Chris.
You want to compare yourself to what Chris has done for Palestinians?
Chris, Chris, yeah. Chris earned his. I guess he has his masters, but I'm just saying, I want mine back.
We're not Palestinian.
Who does he think he is to tell people like, hey, you're a cool guy. You're getting the Habibi pass.
So we can't give you the Palestinian pass. We're going to give you the...
Okay, so let's say, Lena, let's say you guys would just join the IDF and join the genocide, theoretically, right? Hypothetically. Would it make sense for someone to say, I don't consider you Lebanese or Arab because you're killing Arabs or Lebanese people? So there is a point where you would say like, okay, yeah, he's leaning into it and saying that because you're complicit, because you're part of a podcast that is doing more harm than
Lebanese Habibi.
You are a Lebanese.
Last time.
He gets raised.
Yeah.
just watching their own video basically. I don't think these people can be saved. I think what is really nice is to see them double down.
Man, these are lies. You guys.
I really like them. I like to see them double down.
Right.
Because I like to see people deal with the consequences of, bad stuff. When you are complicit, it's good that it's being called out. And when you remain to be complicit, then yeah, you deserve people shitting on you.
Such a gentrified Lebanese couple, bro. Look at this gentrified Lebanese couple.
Oh my.
Very dumb statement from Lena here to think that they're really attacking the dog. That's really stupid. I have to admit, I think it's an ugly dog. I don't like that type of dog. I'm being very honest. I think it's an ugly dog. I don't think it's even a dog. I think it's like a creature.
Yeah? What makes
Who cares?
Which revoke?
Who cares?
You know what?
Didn't you get the exact same dog that Ethan and Hila had, which is
What
interesting?
are we talking?
Comment, then I deleted it. But let me second video. Comment that I then deleted. I said, picking up your know anything about me. You know how much of a massive fan I was of the pod and you guys specifically. My entire show is based on H3. I love knowing we had Lebanese representation on H3. And then you know what happened to the
This is a critique towards AB. Let's see how he responds.
show. And
Lena is not really paying attention.
H3. Thanks for the well out, but it's
Let's skip it.
As soon as it was announced, and we'll watch as a complete
Johnson,
show.
You helped Ethan dox people. Oh my god.
So he is going to defend the fact that he identified the Wiener mobile, the Oscar Mayer mobile. So here's the critique, AB. Ethan is going on an unhinged rant, showing the picture of the guy and his friends and the family and his mom, which is messed up. That deserves pushback from people with a soul. People with a heart. People that are not stupid, that realize why people are upset with Ethan and Hila. Why someone would be upset when he sees an Instagram post of her getting an Israel tattoo when the genocide is ongoing. It's an Israel tattoo. It is. If you don't realize that, I don't know what to tell you. You've never seen the flag, basically. You should have stepped in and said, hey, this is messed up. But instead, you helped them identify the Stupor Wiener mobile so you could tell them which state he lives in. Yeah, you're part of the problem. Valid criticism.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. Not pushing back against the guy, showing pictures of the guy that left a comment with his mom and his siblings and his friends. And yeah, here we go again. Lena says, oh, here we go again. That we didn't push back on that.
The fucking
or
weed.
AB.
That's what I'm talking about. Yup. E-mobile.
You're an idiot.
Yo, there's multiple weenie mobiles. It's across.
Dude, I really do not like these two people. The people defending them. Fuck them.
It's the nation.
Fuck people defending
It's national.
them.
That's why it's a national weenie mobile.
Yeah, fuck people defending them. Yeah, complicit.
I don't know what you guys oxen. You guys are on my weenie.
Anymore. Shut her.
Completely disregard the entire comment. It was not just about that part, right? Like completely disregard.
No, they're right.
So it's while I do agree it's mostly low IQ, but it's also just they see the comments. They can see that there is valid criticism. They just don't want to deal with it.
That's crazy.
Because there's no defense.
Oh,
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
the shampoo.
Yeah.
Lena gets triggered when they talk about the dog and it looks scuffy. That triggers her. But the fact that Ethan showed a picture of the guy on Instagram that left a comment saying go to hell, which is not anti-Semitic just because it is said to a Jew. You didn't call back on that, so someone incorrectly labeled as anti-Semitic, showed pictures of him and his mom and his family and his friends. What did they have to do with this? Nothing. But you were okay with all those people being shown on stream to thousands, like hundreds of thousands of people and getting hate. Yeah, his family got hate. You guys were like AB was completely down with that. Yeah. But Lena gets upset when someone triggers her about the dog. Interesting.
It's like
keep skipping.
I don't mind if I can lose.
People on the honestly, I think
Let's listen.
irrelevant comments. Look about.
Oh, let's go back. Read it.
It's just like okay.
I don't mind if I can lose some family members to some IDF bombing. That's not what he said. But like,
there's people in the chat giving you valid criticism.
like that would be. That's kind of like what it could sound like.
Dennis.
There was people in the chat just saying irrelevant comments. Look about
Very relevant comments.
their looks or but whatever, and I'm like, don't be.
Okay, so you're now again saying so. This is the second time people are making fun of them. I got banned in 5 minutes for just. I was not disrespectful. You can't criticize you guys if you're not a member. Subscriber, it's very easy to just ban me, right? But the people that are paying you, you don't ban them that easily. So instead of banning those people, you're just warning them constantly, even though they're doing messed up stuff, which I didn't do. Interesting.
No, they were both very pretty. What are you talking?
Interesting. You did call one of them the devil, AB. But yeah, interesting. So they make fun of their looks, which is not something that surprised me because that is what H3 members tend to do when they don't have any arguments. But you're not banning them, but you're banning people that are just giving you valid criticism.
All three of them are pretty.
No,
Even Millhouse,
honestly,
he's a
I
good-looking guy.
just said we don't need hate for them, you know. But now, like, she's reading all these hate
You're not actually intervening.
comments and laughing and cheering it on. Literally, every dono they've read is like a hate comment against you.
Oh, the hate comments towards them, you don't mind that much, it seems, because you're not stepping in and you're blaming them for reading donos?
Why are you fostering this kind of community?
There's really nothing wrong with their community.
I wonder if they have any sort of...
Your community is more messed up because I've seen people defend Loner Box. I've seen people defend Ethan and Hila, say they didn't do anything wrong, defending you guys while you are complicit. So yeah.
It, honestly, that's it. It's I don't know.
I think
was
they're
I
speaking
wrong?
from the
was
heart.
I wrong
Unless-
for saying
unless
don't
they
be
have some-
hateful?
You're not actually doing anything with the hateful comments directed towards them.
Oh, thank you.
In your chat.
Nicola.
You guys, I'm just so
you.
disappointed. Honestly, that's it. It's not funny to me. It's not hurtful. I'm just disappointed. This to
L.
What a big L.
What are we doing?
Not the rapper.
Why does everyone seem mad?
sent $5 and said,
Nerve, I can't.
sad to sit quietly while your boss supports a genocide and lash out against you, a person on the front lines of the IOF's violence.
Why would he lash out against me? Again, the nerve, I can't. Why would he
We buttoned you, and we do have that clip where he lashed out against you when the button didn't work.
lash out against me? I thought he silenced me. No, I'm sorry. Not that he silenced me. I'm sorry. That was last week that you guys claimed. I thought it was because
we did button you. We have that clip.
I just.
Lastly,
Here, disingenuous nudge up.
Back if you need to.
Because you don't scare me. You're just an internet troll whose only tactics are to dox, lie, and organize harassment campaigns. You're demanding an apology. You're a joke. Free Palestine.
I don't know what to say. Watch it back if you need to.
No valid criticism of Ethan and Nila at all.
Try examples of tech you to raise hell without thinking and quit your job because they aren't, and you're do whatever we could to have back then. But here's another blah 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 example. But I think sharing this with everyone is important.
That's his opinion. Who's to judge his own opinion? But these are our friends, our relatives that you supposedly say we're letting down. We're just
letting down the people of Palestine, the people of Gaza. Yeah.
Disappointing. Obviously, that's not the case. And
yeah, you're complicit because you're working on a podcast that.
So you have something to say about it.
Of you for
no
weapons against Semitic.
They don't understand. They're just too stupid to understand that there is valid criticism for Ethan and Nila. And then their only defense is like, "What do you want us to do about it?"
How can you
speak up. Why would you be complicit by working on a podcast that is doing more harm than good?
Lose.
And then they zoom in on like the excess stuff. That's it.
This is happening.
Duck down in your fucking
crazy and yell and scream at the world for letting the.
You're like fucking. You're duck down and you're fucking. You're yelling from the river to the sea. No, you're just fucking coming at me and misframing what I'm saying when my
there's valid
initial point was defending.
It's just stuck on that point. That's it. That's it.
Shit.
That's it.
Dude.
What is a good reason? I'm lost at this point. I'm fucking confused. When am I allowed to scream as an Arab and say that this is fucking wrong? These fucking innocent people getting.
Do that. Do that.
He's yelling at you because you're complicit because the podcast is. Yeah.
Do that. Do that.
You're allowed to do that, but you're not allowed to criticize H3 and Ila and the people that are complicit.
Do that towards opposition. Don't do it to me.
You're working on podcasts that is discouraging people from donating to charity for Palestine. Dude. There are so many examples of them labeling people as anti-Semites that are not anti-Semitic. So they're weaponizing anti-Semitism, which Sam Cedar also calls out. And you're not really pushing back against
You're wasting your time and your energy.
Being fucking butchered.
Don't criticize
we think
us.
is the end goal, which is freedom for the Palestinians. Atheists go.
Honestly, I'm not going to watch 5 more hours. It's just too long. They're just not intelligent enough to actually reflect on stuff and deal with the critique.
I hope so.
Like my advice, Lena and AB, is just shut up. Just don't respond to any haters because you can't. There's no good defense. And you guys really suck at it. And it's just making you look worse, and it will get worse and worse and worse. But on the other hand, it's kind of fun to see it getting worse and worse and worse.
Right time. Please, someone in the pisses.
Thank you.
I'm very honest. Because, yeah, it's messed up.
So, second video. To...
That's fine.
So, again, great idea to do this when it's the country that is providing the bombs to Israel to bomb the Palestinians.
They're not gonna hire you. They're not gonna hire you because you have that fucking loser attitude walking in.
And Joey Diaz is a controversial dude if you look into it a little bit. But okay.
One of the most others, or you saw the way Brad and Panada spun it, and you're like, oh, you know what?
Zooming in on the one thing. That's it.
Fair to say.
That's it. That's literally it. That is literally it. It's 8 hours of 1 point.
Better, I guess.
It's 8 hours of 1 point. That's all. You're not capable of even responding to chat. Wow.
You have no leverage. No. I don't know who you're. He's.
Wow.
Thank you.
Someone says we fund this war without dollars.
Yeah, thank you. I'm
Elena.
your shit. I'm trying. Ethan in my video. Like, is that all y'all could say? Is that all y'all could say?
Oh, who's threatening to sue half the internet, bro? You're
Yeah, so your podcast boss is threatening to sue half the internet for speaking up, criticizing him. It's not allowed. You could push back on that here on your stream. Are you going to do that by saying, hey, that is true, I don't like him weaponizing anti-Semitism, I don't like the fact that he's like threatening to sue everyone. Obviously, you're afraid that you will get fired if you say that that is kind of messed up.
fucking boss. What are you talking about? Ethan's suing fucking Redditors, man. He's trying to sue
Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah. Lena and you both know exactly what he's talking about. The Redditor that just uploaded the clip showing something that Ethan said, and he sent like a letter, had his lawyer send a letter where the lawyer asked, these are the 5 points. You need to agree to give us the names of all the employees you talk to on Reddit. If you have any real names of people that are in the Snark subreddit, you need to tell us that as well. It was like completely unhinged letter. Valid criticism about Ethan doing that. Let's see how you're going to respond.
fucking Noah Samson.
Let's see. Threatening to sue Noah Samson. Let's see. Do you have a response?
He's trying to sue.
Oh.
Whoever
they keep on criticizing Ethan and Hila. Why won't they stop? Let's see. Lena is going to defend it. Let's see.
He's not talking about you right now.
Am I talking?
He's not talking about you right now, AB. You can ignore all this stuff that is not about
Talking
you.
about Ethan in my video? Like, is that all y'all could say?
Criticizing Ethan. Wow.
Is that all y'all could say?
He's literally, Millhouse, he's talking to...
Also saying Millhouse, Lena, when people in their own chat have said, maybe you shouldn't be calling him Millhouse anymore. Be an adult. And like, also Lena is calling him Millhouse. So just showing her allegiance, you know? Showing like, hey, I'm with you, AB. Fuck it. Because probably off camera, you're saying some other stuff about them.
Who literally...
The reminder that AB called Karen the devil. And also he said that, I'm going to say Millhouse, that Anthony liked to hear the sound of dying innocent Israeli civilians. That's what AB made the claim. He made that claim in this stream.
What did he do? Like
he threatened me.
Threatened. Thank you. Threatened.
He said if he said listen, if you don't delete your video and apologize.
Bad Empanada is just leaning into it because yeah, that's what he does, right?
Even though my pussy juice,
you're
I'm
not actually getting threatened to it. Don't be a pussy. Grow some balls, dude.
In one bad thing.
Grow some balls, dude. Well, at least he didn't delete the stream.
It could have been
right in my pocket.
Be saying,
acknowledge the shitty cleaning accusations.
They're saying we're gonna contract it here because I'm not being clean.
So Lena, you're completely ignoring the fact that Ethan himself has overshared and said that they have Al Jardia and it's you can only get it by ingesting it. So you're now deflecting by zooming in on someone saying something about you, which is not the critique about Ethan and Hila. So this is your tactic, right? Just grab on to someone that said something bad about you that was messed up, so you don't have to talk about the bigger thing. Wow.
Yo, I sprayed. Unrelated.
Like,
I sprayed with this. Okay.
He's just spreading those germs, and
Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
Go ahead.
Go on.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
AB thinks I'm being dramatic, and I'm like, no. I still gotta put the shoes on him. Earlier he didn't.
I don't care about the dog.
We are getting fucking. He's.
There is nothing here, guys. I've spent too much time already. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. They're watching the same clips multiple times and making the same point, which is his dunk.
Yeah. So hot.
This is really stupid. I think this is a complete waste of time.
How do we have more viewers, bro? What clout are you gonna give me?
Oh, he's gonna jump on this, of course. So, 440. just in case I want to do more.
Gastro issues. My baby.
So that I don't look bad to my Zionist boss.
It's still the podcast.
Every person in the world wants to prove that we're nothing but fucking barbaric animals. You're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job. I will continue to defend you and try to steer away from that narrative.
What defense? What are you defending, bro? You're calling me barbarian, and then you're like, but I'm gonna defend you. You're not defending me, bro. I'll defend myself. I don't need you to defend me. I don't need anyone in America to defend me, bro. I'll defend myself.
Break that down, fucking moron.
It's the only thing.
Was right.
So what is really impressive here is that it's a total of minus 8 hours, 8.5 hours to minus 3 hours. So 5 hours they respond to a relatively short segment. I guess how long is that segment? Maybe an hour, maybe less. 5 hours you took to respond to that one segment. Wow.
I mean, who is the there's it's like this is fair. Oh.
I want to get this over with. Is he going to say anything?
Ghana sends $5 Canadian.
Do I have Lena's
Ethan
name
says that
tattooed?
Arabs.
No, I want to get it though. I have my mom, dad, brother.
Look, maybe I'm
crazy. Easily.
What you said is guys conduct Zionist propaganda. That's what you said.
Me how Arabs feel about me and speak on behalf of Arabs is not
He can make that assessment based off empirical facts, based off the
in the middle of this. So I actually care.
Yeah, there's nothing there. So I'm not going to watch the rest. I spent too much time on this. I need to walk the dog. I need to go outside and touch some grass. Wow. You really suck at this. You deserve all the hate that you're getting. Some people are being a bit unhinged. I don't think that's cool. Nobody should be cursing, ideally. But if that is like the worst thing that has happened to you, I mean, I guess you're good, dude. You're good. You're all good. You did not engage with the criticism. The only... are you still there? Let me see. Catching up on... I don't know the players well enough, but could this be stage beef for clicks? Okay, interesting question. Ethan doesn't need to stage drama. So, whether the beef between him, AB, and Anthony, that is not staged. I've been following this, and it's not staged beef. So it really boils down to... Anthony is just an old H3 fan, and he's like the biggest fan ever. And he has bought like so much Teddy Fresh clothing. He's from Lebanon, and he thought, you know what, I'll create my own Lebanese podcast, very similar to H3 podcast, because he really looked up to Ethan. I'm not a fan of Ethan. I'm too old to have been a fan of Ethan even back in the day. I don't care about Ethan. I didn't like iDubbbz videos or whatever. I don't watch those content creators really. I'm following the beef because of the genocide. But Anthony is just pissed off with Ethan and with AB and Lena because they're Lebanese and they're part of the podcast. And he looked up to them because they're part of his favorite podcast. Like his big example is the person he looked up to the most is Ethan, right? He thought Ethan was amazing. And then 7 October happened. And then Ethan started saying some dumb shit. And then Anthony was being confronted with receipts, such as Hila saying that she went on raids in Ramallah in occupied territory when she was in the army, that she was bored with her first desk job. Ethan called Ramallah a terrorist city. He asked if they brought it in the car with them. And it was a reference to the Palestinian guy that got arrested during that raid. She explains how she went into the house and looked at their stuff and it was kind of odd and blah, blah, blah. And then Ethan lied during the debate with Hassan and said Hila stayed in the car. There are so many receipts showing that Ethan and Hila have messed up views, are still saying stupid shit, such as making fun of people that donate to charity for Palestine, making fun of students that are protesting the genocide, calling people that don't want to associate themselves with Hila automatically anti-Semites and saying that's because I'm an Israeli. That's the only reason, when they have said so much messed up shit. So there are receipts. There are receipts from Bad Empanada. He's like the primary receipt generator. He has a lot of videos. Anyone can go and watch those videos. But what AB is not doing is not reacting to Baden Panada's videos on H3 and on Ila and Ethan and the stuff that they have said. There was one moment in this stream, before I end the stream, there was one moment where AB responded to a question. There were a lot of good questions in comments that he completely ignored. But he was willing to talk about the tier list, and he just did a big self-own by saying that the tier list, he thought initially, he said, I'm not saying it's anti-Semitic or not. So it's like putting that gate up, like you can't tell Ethan, my boss, that I said one thing or the other. So I'm not saying it's anti-Semitic or not. But initially I argued it's not anti-Semitic. And then because of the thumbnail, which is a reference, I believe, to Frogan's thumbnail, where she added Ben Shapiro to the F tier, I couldn't defend that. Which automatically means that you're horrible at defending the fact that it's not anti-Semitic. It doesn't turn into an anti-Semitic tier list because Frogan adds Ben Shapiro to the F tier after the fact. That does not make the tier list anti-Semitic. It was a tier list for who can say Habibi. And at the bottom was Sabra. Ethan made the claim that they are choosing Sabra because the word Sabra also means Israeli. Most people are not aware of that. They're also making content for people, right? Not just for themselves, and probably they were not even aware of that, right? Claims it's anti-Semitic, but Denims is in the F tier. Some other people are on the F tier. It's not only Jewish people, so it's not anti-Semitic. It's anti-Zionist. Well, Denims is anti-Zionist, so it's not really anti-Zionist. It's racist. It's not, because how is it racist towards Denims? Just leaving out the fact that Denims is in that F tier. And Mutahar as well. They just use a thumbnail where you can't see that there is someone else outside of Ethan Klein and Ben Shapiro. Was it a dumb move for Frogan to add Ben Shapiro to that F tier when he wasn't even brought up during the tier list and the panel? So how difficult was it for AB to defend the tier list? Still, you can say the tier list sucks and is stupid, which I've said as well, because was it worth it? No, probably not. But you can still easily defend the tier list not being anti-Semitic by saying Ben Shapiro wasn't actually in the F tier. What is Denims doing in the F tier, Ethan, if it's anti-Semitic? Is Denims now Jewish? She's Moroccan, if I'm not mistaken. So there's just so many examples. I think one of the best examples of AB just not really pushing back is that one instance where he said, Giuliani said Palestinians learn at the age of 2 to kill Americans, and Hila went, I mean, which was an indication that she believes that Palestinian kids at the age of 2 learn to kill probably Israelis, not Americans, right? That's probably what she believes, one would assume. And he didn't push back on that at all, nothing. It was in reference, it was a reaction to what he said. Ethan said, wow, that's spicy, referring to the statement from Giuliani. AB laughed once he said it. Hila didn't really think it's that funny because, I mean, well, to be very honest, I mean, didn't push back at all. It was in a conversation with you, AB. And then later, they had a podcast where Hila and Ethan defended her doing the maybe. Another opportunity for AB to jump in and say, well, you were responding to me. Let's be honest, Hila, you were not doing that as a reaction to something else that was being said. There was no other conversation going on. Everyone was basically listening to me when I make that comment. Ethan called it spicy. Then Ethan also asked another question about the comment that I just made. You can see Hila's eyes lock on again when he starts talking again. So like it's clear that Hila was responding to that statement. So lame-ass defense saying it's a different conversation is not true. And then Hila after that said, well, I would have to see the entire thing. So Rudy Giuliani says on stage, Palestinian kids at the age of 2 learn to kill Americans. And she says, I mean, and then her one defense is, it could have been referring to some other conversation. And then she says, but wait, I say more. And she's saying, I need to hear more. So that second point about, hey, after doing I mean, I'm saying I need to hear more to really judge this, right? I will zoom in on this. if you are saying that, you are agreeing that it was not about another conversation, right? So you lied about that one. Your first point, that's like an IQ thing. Your first point, you ruined it by making the second point. If you prepared for this, you should have realized that you have to pick or choose. You have to choose one of the defenses. Either it's not related to that conversation, which everyone can clearly see it is, and you're like, we can maybe pretend as if it could be connected to something else. And then you say, my follow-up comment is, I would like to hear the entire story to make up my mind or whatever. Now, okay, let's say it's not about a different conversation, because it is not, right? We're not stupid. What else do you need to hear, Hila, outside of Palestinian 2-year-olds learn to kill Americans, to come to the conclusion that it's a dumb statement, which AB easily did? Probably didn't even hear other statements that Giuliani made after that, because most people have only heard that statement because nobody really wants to listen to Giuliani. So they clip, it's not out of context, that comment stands on its own. It's ridiculous on its own. 2-year-olds do not know how to kill someone. You idiot. So you're asking for more context to see if that statement can be put in, in a certain context where you're like, yeah, well, if you put it in that context, yes, Palestinian 2-year-olds are taught to kill Americans, not just hate, just kill. That's what Giuliani said. So AB had 2 big opportunities to push back. It was in a conversation with him, and then when they defended it later in another podcast, he could have easily pushed back and said, hey, this is bullshit. Come on, guys. He didn't. So when it's even a conversation with him directly, he's not willing to do that. So what someone should have brought forward in this chat is, hey, AB, do you think that Palestinian 2-year-olds learn to... No, he will say, no, I don't, clearly, because he laughed when he made that reference, right? He read it and he was like laughing, like, that is so stupid. Like, Giuliani is such a weirdo. Well, it sounds like Ila doesn't really think that statement is that weird, right? Are you going to claim now that it was related to another conversation? AB, if he's honest, he will say no, because Ila dunked on herself by mentioning the second point. Then you will ask, hey, AB, if we provide additional context, do you think it's normal for someone to say that statement is kind of maybe okay? If AB is honest, he will say no. Then, hey, why do you think Ila kind of maybe agrees with that statement? That's inconvenient, huh? To talk about how Hila actually views Palestinian 2-year-olds. It's not a topic you can really discuss with her, not on the podcast. But you also can't discuss that stuff outside of the podcast on your own stream. That's the problem. You can talk about that stuff officially, right? Like the tier list, we saw what a horrible job you did in trying to explain to people that you don't consider an anti-Semitic tier list. And you kind of do the same thing with Anthony. You're saying they're grasping at straws in your big video on Ethan and defending Ethan from 5 years ago that landed you the job. But really, you are grasping at straws, right? So you're biting into the idea of Anthony cursing at you, and then you're turning that into a thing. Well, he's like, why is he upset with you, dude? Why is he upset? And then your defense about, like, I can't leave my job, I will end up Skid Row. Lena will starve. I'm being told that you guys have a house in the state where you actually came from. So you can easily go back to that house. You can find remote work. You can't find a job editing videos and stuff like that. The thing is, it's not just the money. I mean, you have to be very tone deaf when all of this is like, there's a big debate on your complicity. To do a apartment tour and then tell everyone that you have a $4,200 per month house. And then also, almost in the same breath, say, I can't leave this podcast because I'll end up on Skid Row. Just doing such a horrible job defending yourself. I would have been able to defend myself a lot better if I was in your shoes and not pushing back. And like, I could have done a lot better. I could have helped Ethan to make a lot better content. Like if Ethan had like an ear thing and I could talk into his ear while he was like talking and doing the podcast, like I could easily tell him like, hey, you need to walk that one back. Hey man, walk that one back. No, there's no defending that. That's a stupid statement. And then you can just tell him like how to walk it back. And say, hey, what I just said about the likes kind of stupid. Yeah, I was kind of heated, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I've spent way too much time on this. I was not expecting anything good, to be very honest. But like, wow. It is exactly what you should expect. It's really bad. And Lena is just as bad as AB. She's a little bit smarter. But yeah, it's deliberate. They just love their job. They do like them a lot. They also mentioned, AB mentioned, like, hey, do you think we don't have, in the state of Michigan, there are no Arabs like me that do have like Zionist friends or whatever, something like that. He said, like, yeah, I'm going to be very honest, man. I wouldn't be friends with someone that is like doing more harm to the Palestinian cause when there's a genocide ongoing. I just wouldn't. But he's not just, like, don't think he's your friend, dude. That's the problem. He's your boss. He's not your friend. They are not your friends. Maybe it feels like they are your friends. Everyone saying like, oh, they expect everyone to go to the CEO of the company with like 40,000 employees and tell them like, hey, I disagree with you, and then lose their job. Are you really comparing a podcast with like where they are friends with the host and he's there with a microphone and they're talking this shit in front of him and he has a microphone and he can talk, and they're actively doing more harm to the Palestinian cause than good, to a CEO that might be conservative, but that is not using his conservative views in any way that could harm the Palestinians? It's like, we don't know. Maybe he's donating some money to the Israel lobby. We don't know. But like, if you don't know, you can just say, yeah, we don't know. Is that true or not? It's just, you know, if that is not a fact, you can find it. But if that person has donated a lot of money, then maybe, yeah, maybe you don't want to work for a company with a CEO that is like kind of helping with the genocide, you know, and the propaganda around it, the Hasbara around it. So it's just not comparable. It's like extremes. Like most people in big companies, 20, 30,000 employees, CEO has conservative views, compared to Ethan. I got the job by making a video defending everything that he said when there was valid criticism from Gokanaru. You got hired because you defended everything Ethan said. We're not critical of Ethan at all. That's how you ended up having that job, right? And he likes you to be like that. Be that, AB. Defend me at all costs. Find something to defend me. Find something, anything, such as Frogan using the thumbnail. All right, I'm done. I will have to edit this because there's some spicy segments there. Saying Anthony enjoyed hearing innocent Israeli citizens being killed. It's literally what AB said in this clip. In this, I have that clipped, so this will be amazing. All right, thanks for watching. If you're still there, thanks for tuning in as the only viewer. That's awesome. All right, have a nice day. Your stream will stop and you will no longer be here live. Yeah.